Becca. I'll be playing Elspeth the Bard. We are missing tonight Alex, who would normally play our cleric Azzy, and Ami, who would normally play our wizard Maka. Maka is hoping to join us later. Alex will not be joining us, but I will let the others introduce themselves too.
Hey everyone, I'm Azuzu. I'm playing Copy, the Trickster Rogue. Trickster
Sam.
Rogue. Sorry, Arcane Rogue.
Sam, halfling ranger.
Hey, I'm Draz. I'm playing Cloud, the Tabaxi Rogue Warlock.
I'm Scott, Delta's DM.
And I believe Azuzu has volunteered as tribute for the recap tonight.
Yeah, so last week we fought the dragon Magmadar.
Yes.
Magmadar, and most of the episode was actually the whole episode was dedicated to this battle. Uh, Copy died outright, but then got revived by Aze. And then eventually, through a lot of exchange, we were able to weaken Magmadar enough for that so that he would flee. And as a last minute Hail Mary, our ranger, Toto, took a shot and managed to kill Magmadar right at the death. Following which, we ended up having a semi chase scene out of the place because there were two groups of Gith who were fighting over each other as to who would have control. Our friend Jeff was one of them, and we had another group that was trying to stop us. We eventually managed to make our way onto a ship, at which point we managed to flee. Uh, the We managed to flee the area, and we were currently on the ship. We were going to expedite it, but I think we decided to go back a little bit because all of us want to RP a little bit on the ship, which I am quite against. Which I am quite against. So yeah, that's everything in terms of recap.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss anything?
Don't think so.
That pretty much covers it.
Oh, and we leveled up as well. Um, our DM gave us 3 levels because we managed to kill a elder dragon, an adult dragon, and Gith commander. So thank you.
And two young adult dragons who were
And
basically just cannon fodder.
what they young adults? They were like, I thought they were like wormlings or something like that.
Nope, young adults.
Nice.
If they were wormlings, you would have splattered them within seconds. But yeah, so for the sake of RP, after the initial sort of escape and watching the floating fortress stroke safe place of the Githyanki splinter group's fortress place to go bye bye, boom, in a big firework display. And the remaining Githyanki who were loyal to now apparently Jehote, it appears, have sped off in the opposite direction. A few of their guys are going to be riding shotgun alongside you in smaller Githyanki ships, carrying the remainder of the prisoners who couldn't fit onto the big ass boat you guys stole. That's officially its title, is the big ass boat. And for the sake of RP, the journey from the Navy plane through the Astral Sea and back to Westrunn will be a lot more condensed, so we don't need to go through several sessions of travel again. But RP will take place on the ship from basically from the Demi plane through the Astral Sea to arrival in Westrunn. So if you guys need to do anything or want to do anything, feel free.
Do you mind if I ask you in terms of kind of time, how much time would have passed between for us to travel?
I've decided that out of game after going back and forth. I'll let you know when you arrive.
Okay. So yeah,
Million years in the future, there's flying cars everywhere. Who are these guys?
so I think right after we got on the ship, and we managed to get away. Copy was gonna slink away and kind of find kind of like the cargo hold or somewhere really, really kind of dark and kind of secluded and just kind of sit there and cry for a bit, and kind of try to recover from everything that happened.
As far as I remember, Elspeth had claimed a room and was just sort of sitting on the bed. And the two boys were getting high, from what I can remember.
I don't think. Well, Toto might have been getting high, but we were just having a smoke, and the orcs managed to find some food and some alcohol. So we had a drink and got all the slaves that we had broken out have something to eat and stuff, because I very much doubt they've had properly eaten in.
Yeah, Toto just made sure that he's got all of his stuff, like all of the animal statues are back as statues, and he's got them all. And he wants to get the carpet back off the orcs as well before he does anything else.
Yeah, they roll up to you and go, your floaty carpet back.
I still haven't named the carpet, or the horse, or the eagle, but I'm open to suggestions.
On a side note about your statues, Traz found out that it's not a bird, it's a fly.
A fly?
But it can still be a giant fly.
That's
Giant fly.
that's fucking awesome.
Still classed as a large creature, but when I was listening to the recap, doing my notes, and it was just like an ebony fly, and I was like, oh, it weren't a bird. Shit.
That's just as cool. I'm definitely calling it Jeff Goldblum.
Now, see here, the thing about calling it Jeff, right, is that their thing is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's all he really wants to do straight off the bat. I think Toto wants to talk to Copy at some point, but we'll probably leave it. And if that takes up the whole time and he hasn't done it, then so be it. But he won't approach her anytime soon. But he's thinking about it at some point.
We'll say just a wee quick side note, since we're down to members, that Maka and Azzy are gonna just like find their own little space and are gonna be like controller not connected for the foreseeable future until players can decide what they were doing during this time and we'll retroactively fit it in. So we don't need to kind of puppeteer them without their input. Anyone else, feel free to do as you please, within reason.
If it's all right, when because you said Jehote, we saw Jehote fly near, didn't we?
Yeah, before he's left the demiplane itself, him and like a wing's worth of like Gith Yankee ships of various sizes kind of flew alongside, give you a salute, and perhaps we'll meet again, and veered off.
Fair enough. So while Cloud will probably hang out with Toto for probably an hour or so. He won't drink much throughout. He'll probably have a drink or two, but he'll check in on like the orcs, the Tiefling brothers, and anybody else. The monk and the druid slaves. That names I can't quite remember at the minute.
Viola and Marcus.
Marcus, that's it. make sure that everybody's all right, and maybe talk to a few of the people that have just broken out, just to see if they overheard or knew what the dragon or the gift were up to or anything.
I would like you to do me insight check for investigation. Sorry, investigation will probably make more sense when you're talking to all the other slaves about what was going on, if they overheard anything. Help determine if they any bits of information stick together. 25. Alrighty.
Where were these rolls last week?
Yeah, that would have been very handy. As you spoke briefly to, like, to say, Nexus Dex, the Tiefling brothers you speak to, the Orcs briefly, they're all having a good time on deck, just like, that was a fucking good fight, we'll be singing songs about this for a very long time, usual kind of Orc bardy push you expect. Viola and Marcus are kind of keeping to themselves a little bit, but kind of are a little less frosty towards the majority of the party, now that that shit happened. As you've been speaking to various parts of, like, this Westrunn Shield, some of the other citizens, some from further afield than just Westrunn itself, there's bits and pieces of information that they give you, just a little hearsay there, throwaway line here, that when you piece together, the overheard something about that this splinter group formed because they were getting sick and tired of the Githyanki leader, of which his name I can't remember right now off the top of my head. I need to get to the book, but they were getting really sick of her kind of bullshit of, yeah, I'm always top in charge. I've been in charge for as long as anyone can remember. And when you don't age in the Astral Sea, people's memories tend to get a bit long in the tooth, and they just thought, you know what, screw this bitch, let's just do the off and do our own thing. And you get the impression that there was mention of another being that they were kind of in talks to about potential things happening on the material plane at some undetermined point in the future. Right now, that's all your whack.
Right. So yeah, Cloud will spend about an hour or so doing that, and then contemplating everything that sort of happened. He'll probably go find the being on deck. He'll probably head to the captain's quarters, have a snoop around there, and then sort of just lock himself in that room if nobody else is in there.
So, turn around with Thieves' Tools, you kind of do a reverse lock picking. The doors are now locked. Decked out with a lot of well, it goes from very Spartan looking to then decked out with a handful of trophies of various beasts on the walls, weapons, stuff that obviously the Githyanki commander had taken in prior conquests.
Cloud will just sort of pace, sort of pace around a little bit, thinking about everything that sort of happened, and after probably a few minutes, he'll sit up at the end of the bed, summon the blade staff into his hand, and just focus on it and mutter quietly to it. I don't know what. Well, we've never communicated properly. You've always helped me out and been there to when I needed you, but it looks like I might need more. We managed to survive this just, but if we end up going up against anything like this again, and circumstances turn out differently, I think I need more strength, more power to protect the people I care for. I don't know if you can do that, but if that is in your power, I do ask. And Cloud will sort of bow his head and close his eyes and sort of just contemplate on that for a while.
Bow your head, you can feel a very subtle kind of twinge in the blade staff. I actually think that can't be. Nah, that's not. It's too subtle. Then you bow your head again, then this twinge gets a little bit stronger. You look at the blade staff; it's starting to sway almost like a tree in the wind, ever so slightly side to side. And it almost looks as if, like, around the kind of actual bladed edge, seems to be little offshoots of little branches starting to appear. Curl up into like I can't remember, but it's like not the hilt, but the very far end of, like, say, a naginata, the kind of round circular area before the blade finishes up. As the blade starts to refine its shape, to the bottom, it starts to curl off with a few like leaves of grey and black colouring, similar to your fur. A small bud appearing at the end, at the bottom end of the blade staff. So far, after a good 10 minutes, the only signs of an answer you get.
Cloud will just sit there contemplating everything that's happened, watching it as it changes, and think sort of go through everything through his mind and such.
Whilst Cloud is sitting there having a bit of me time in the captain's quarters, anyone want to do their own little thing?
So maybe after like an hour or two, I'm gonna the copy's gonna gather herself, and then she's gonna eventually kind of make her way, kind of wander around until she finds like Elspeth's quarters. She's gonna try knock on it, but stop herself, and then just kind of slouch against the door and kind of um, basically just sleep leaning against her door.
It's Elspeth's passive perception again.
A 15 now.
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard it. Slouch against the door, just slide in it. Fall asleep.
Yeah, and that's where I want to sleep. My long rest, if I could.
Elspeth, anything you wish to do with your time on board?
I was going to wait till the next day. I assume I'd be able to wait till the next day to speak to Toto when he's not high as a kite.
If you wish to wait, you can wait. I was just wondering if you did anything before the rest kicked in.
No, nothing before the rest. Oh, no, nothing before the rest, no.
Cool. Toto, sitting on the dig of the ship, getting high as fuck with the works.
Pretty much.
Everybody's sort of just doing that sort of almost typical, like, down to off 40k style okay, but and then the dragon flew up and he's like, whoa, and little man's just like, fuck you, and hits him with an arrow, and he falls down after an arrow in his arse. Oh, it's fucking magic. And they're all just kind of going back and forth. It's like, yeah, get this, and he's like, they're playing chords to sing how the song would go ahead, and drinks been passed around, there's slaves coming over, and they're also kind of looking over the initially scared and like, No, come over. You need to listen to this shit. You missed it all running away. Oh, and they're just almost like a campfire, except they're not wanting to set the ship on fire. So they're like, do we have a bin on board? We can just like, yeah, we put that here. And you're just sitting there, just like puffing away. You want to do anything else apart from just sit back?
I'm gonna fuel the flames of my own heroic deeds and just really kind of big it up that I'm this huge hero. So that their songs are more about how fucking great I am, and that's about it.
It seemed like hours seemed to pass, and those who were on board start to either find places to rest or quarters to kind of kick back in. The orcs either have their fill and can just like pass out on deck. The Githzerai monk who's behind the helm has got himself in a sort of like state that he can still navigate whilst having a bit of a standing whilst sleeping kind of thing going on. And the effects of a long rest take hold. You can all breathe a sigh of relief, relax, you're not dead, you're about halfway home. Time's not exactly the same way as it works in the material plane, but essentially what would be the quote unquote next morning. Let's go first.
Well, I assume I would be up first out of all of us, so I'm going to attempt to leave my room.
As Elspeth's kind of leaving her room, I'm probably gonna feel it. So I'm gonna kind of bolt up and just kind of give her a hug. And if she tries,
Again, first of all, what's your passive perception copy?
11.
Okay. Elspeth, make me a strength check, please. As you're just
Is it a
okay,
push door?
there's my door in front of me, just gonna open it up and just.
I would have thought it's a pull door.
I would have thought it was a pull
It's
door.
not for that. No, listen, you bear with me here, right? Make a strength check.
I like the strength -2 +2.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. As you open the door up, you just feel the sudden like sweeping sensation going through your knees, almost knocking you on your backside. Because as you open the door, there's a wild copy just kind of rolls back and almost sweeps you from the legs, and you just manage to kind of stumble over and go, "What the fuck? What?" And just manage to keep your footing. There's like a half-drunk Westrunn shield at the end of the corridor going, 10 out of 10, quite impressive. Just after getting to like keg of booze from the night before.
I would suggest you go sleep it off. I don't assume we'll be long before we're back in Westrunn, and I don't assume that they'll be too pleased to see this a person that got kidnapped drunk to the Westrunn guard.
He gets a kind of half salute and goes, "Thank you," and just kind of just slumps over.
I'm gonna help copy up.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately kind of jolt up and just kind of hug her as tight as I can. And if she's gonna talk, then I'm just gonna use the ring of silence.
I can't counter spell the Ring of Silence, can I?
I would hope not.
Technically, it's not
No,
a spell, I guess.
For this, I'll say no.
Okay,
I'll check that later
that's alright.
for future reference.
I'm gonna
So
hug her back and just give her the weirdest look, and I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna try to be talking.
yeah, so uh, be, can Elspeth read lips?
No.
Okay, then Copy's basically gonna say something which she can't understand, but just basically mouth it to her ears while under the ring of silence, which is for 1 minute, and then after that, she's just gonna walk away.
Elspeth is gonna stand stunned for like 2 seconds and go, excuse me, what was that? I am super confused.
She's walked away. She's set her due.
Note to Copy later. So I'm going to go and find Toto if he's awake at this point in the morning.
Probably not. I'm probably just asleep on the ship deck.
So she will. Is he asleep on the ship deck by himself, or are there other people around?
There's a bunch of the various Dizians that were formerly slaves. There's a bunch of the orcs. Toto's currently they found like a kind of like cart container that they could start a kind of campfire inside, and now Toto's kind of just like hanging with his backside inside it, trying to get like a heat. Just chill.
I'm gonna
Asleep.
indicate to the Denzians that I'd like some space. So just sort of, could you give us a moment and go over there and sort of wave my hand at them?
They take a moment, but they all gather themselves up and kind of move to a quieter spot.
I am going to sit next to Toto and very gently, very, very gently just tap him on the shoulder and go, are you in any fit state to be having a discussion at this moment in time, or should I come back later?
No, I'm okay. Just sleepy. That's all.
As you look at him, you notice that his hair's been done up like a mohawk in orcish style. Just because the orcs got bored when he fell asleep and went, oh, let's do one thing for hero guy.
I'm going to indicate it to him and go, do you want me to fix that, or are you okay with it the way it is?
I think it's pretty cool. Kind of like it.
It weirdly suits you.
Thanks.
Anyway, I wanted to have a chat about what happened yesterday. Towards the end of the tussle with the dragon, you told me the way to save you guys was to get myself out of there. But you didn't say that to anyone else. So, I just wanted to make you aware that I am quite capable of looking after myself. But if my presence in there was causing any of you guys problems, could you be a little clearer next time? I assume that my presence was getting you guys killed, but I didn't realise that at the time.
First off, I'm sorry for how I went about that. It was just I was trying to get everything done as fast as possible. It's not that I mean we all agreed to be there, and we agreed that you would be there, and we knew how dangerous it was going to be. So, you know, if we didn't want you there or you to be in any kind of trouble, then we just wouldn't have gone. So you had to be there. We couldn't have done it if you weren't there. And that's kind of the point, is that you inspire the rest of us. And if you're the first to leave, then everyone else is going to leave. And I just wanted everyone to leave. And I felt like if you were out the door first, then everyone would follow because you, you you're basically the you keep everyone together. And if you leave, then Cloud's definitely gonna follow. And it was already too late for Copy at that point, but that's a whole different thing. But we all would have followed you. So I felt like you leaving first would be the quickest way out. It was more, despite the fact that I'm now hero to the orcs, I'm not very brave, and I wanted to leave, and you leaving would enable that, It was more of a selfish act on my part. I'm sorry.
I don't get the impression that it was selfish. Maybe misinterpreted both of our ends. But next time, if you feel you need to get out somewhere and you're not comfortable, let me know and we will leave together. If the others follow, they follow. If they don't, they don't. But you shouldn't be somewhere that you're not feeling comfortable. I can get you out and always pop back in. That's not a problem.
All right. That's a deal, yeah.
Yeah, that's a deal. That's the second
Alright.
deal we've got, because I'm still, if we ever end up in Oman and you want me to play pretend, I'm still up for that deal as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I do not remember what happened with Elizabeth, so what the heck? Can you enlighten me? Because she's been acting a little bit bizarre this morning.
I mean, I didn't get the whole thing. I was kind of riding around on a lion's back with you at the time. I mean, it was a giant dragon. As far as I know, that shit happens. That's all I really know.
Well, thank you for the talk. If you want a chat at any time, you know where I am. And
Thanks.
she'll ruffle his hair to get rid of the mohawk and then get up and walk away.
Ah, man. Not the mohawk.
So now it's just a flat mohawk.
Never a good look.
But that was what I wanted to do.
Cool. Who's next?
Sorry, quick intermission. Sam, that was inspired. I just want to throw it out.
Yay! Round of applause.
I've had a week to think about how I was going to admit I'm not brave at all.
Oh. That's alright, I had a week
I'm
to
not
think
brave. I
of...
just shot a red dragon up the arse and killed it. Yeah.
Right.
Just
I had a
Wait
week to
until it-
think of how she'd have interpreted that as well. Yeah, who's next?
who's to go next?
Copy's pretty much done for the rest of this trip. So yeah, she's just gonna find a room and just gonna sleep there and just
I
chill.
think Copy's done for the rest of this trip.
Yeah. Well, she thinks she's done for the rest of the trip.
Door, try to kick it down. Can't get the door open. Tries to kick it down again. Third time, Copy opens the door, wondering who's knocking. They're also sitting there like a cramped leg, just like after kicking it 3 times, like
I'll
ow.
get in the door. And then I find out it's a pool door.
Yes. Yeah. So. You, I'm guessing, would have spent the majority of the evening in the captain's quarters.
Oh yeah, look sure it's bed and everything, even though he might not have slept fully, but he would have at least rested for his full hours. Probably spent a few extra hours just in there. Is the blade staff changed in any way, or is it still just more sort of like elegant now? Also,
It looks like it's going through a very subtle but noticeable metamorphosis. The little seed at the bottom of it is still kind of taking shape. The curling of like vines and branches around the the edge where the staff ends and the blade begins is forming more in the style of a Japanese naginata rather than it was just like a random sword hilt stuck into the end of a bit of a wood.
I will probably just end up kneeling on the floor at the end of the bed with it on his lap, just sort of like concentrating on it, seeing if he can feel anything or such.
So a very faint sort of like second heartbeat from where your previous wound was, and as you open up your vestiges to have a look, looks like there's an extra little tendril following each of the spirals from before. Very subtly underneath the skin, just kind of growing out, and then after, as you're starting to think, okay, what's this? As it start to reach out to the various points in your body, they don't disappear, but they vanish from sight. If that makes sense. And you're aware that whatever this thing is, it's growing outwards and then kind of vanishes from sight. Quick flash. After a brief moment of kind of stiffness, you manage to just kind of wince it off and return back to normal mobility.
After sort of watching all that and not exactly sure what he's gotten himself into, but accepting it nonetheless, he'll tidy himself up, look at his arm to see that the tattoo, well, the black marking on his arm's grown to his shoulder, and cast prestidigitation on himself to clean himself up. And
It has in fact started to evolve in its own way.
And he will start having a mooch around the ship, contemplating everything that's going on and what's happened, but going back to sort of original roots of himself, of having a snoop around and seeing what he can find. Now that the whole island sort of disintegrated into nothing, and wanted a bit more for himself.
Rummaging around the captain's walls, you find what looks like a very heavy set key in one of the drawers. Label noted cargo hold 4 with a little tag on it. And there's something else with a very faint shimmer underneath it. And almost like jewelry case. Of a very subtle hum.
I'll have I'll pull the jewelry case out and have a check over it, see if there's any sort of like traps I can see, and if not, open it up.
An investigation check. Attentively trying to check for traps, and you almost drop it and you go, oh. And as you turn it back over, you realise it's not locked. There's no traps, and you open it up and you find inside it this very beautiful glittering emerald set up on a silver chain.
Sort of looks at it a bit curiously, pops it back in the box, and probably slips the box into the handy haversack. And if there's nothing else of interest in the captain quarters, he'll go see what everybody else is up to and then head down to this cargo bay.
There's one other thing that you notice as you're walking out of the captain's quarters, and that's a map on the port side wall.
What's it a map of?
The several smaller maps of Exandria all pieced together.
Anything of interest? Any markings or notes or such
There's a,
on
hand,
or in any drawers?
there's a handful of scribblings, and most of the writing that's been put on it is in Gith. But there seems to be like a crossover Westrunn, a few other spattering locations on the it's like the rated C at the southwest corner of the Tal'Dorei map. There's one or two locations in Wildmount that's been crossed off. Ones that are still circled, yet for whatever reason they are, appear to be Marquette, Whitestone, and that's about it. There's a few other symbols on it that have been kind of crudely drawn on it for whatever reasons, but again, the scribblings next to it are in GIF, so you can't make out what the reasons why.
Cloud will take the map all down, fold it up, and before he leaves, he's gonna just have another route around through some of the drawers if there's a desk or anything, just to see there's there anything that looks like maybe a ledger or a diary or any bits of script that looks reasonably important or such.
Looking around, it's all just scraps of paper and parchment. None of it's like eligible. It looks like anytime this guy took notes down, he deliberately just kind of went, crumpled them up, threw them away, destroyed them so no one else could read them. It was all just on the wall and then kept up in his head.
Yeah, fair enough. With that, then you pocket the map and head out onto the deck, and I assume probably bump into Toto first if he's still on deck.
He's
Go
still
on,
on
Vic.
deck.
Yep, you see Toto and you can see the orcs in the nearby vicinity just kind of nursing their brief yet quite intense hangovers.
Goes over to Toto and the orc boys. How are you all feeling? I would say morning, but it could be afternoon.
We're
He's
all
gonna give
feeling.
wave. Oh, hi Cloud. And then walk past you.
Boys,
Hey, I've still got this. Uh, you really should take it back before I break it, and I'll hand you the wand, the invisibility one.
thank you, my friend. Knew I could trust you with it.
Yeah, well, oh, there was no way I was breaking it. I've seen you kill some shit. I'm not. I'm not about that. Where did you go anyway? You just disappeared all night.
Well, look at the ship. It's very fancy, and the captain's quarters are much fancier.
Nice, nice,
It's like this nice waterbed type thing. It's really comfortable and good for the back.
sexy. Um, I was thinking maybe we should talk to Elizabeth at some point. I mean, me, you, and her have all died and been brought back to life at some point, and it's pretty terrifying. Maybe she, I don't know how She feels about that. It's not just us anymore. It's a 3-man thing now. Dead Boys Club. It's it's a crazy place. It's fucked up.
But don't tell her this part, but she does have one up on us. We did get killed by, well, I got stabbed by a GIF, you got shot by arrows, and she actually got splatted by a dragon tail, so that's pretty cool.
Mine was even shittier than that. I was killed by a griffin.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Who
Shit, you
gets
did.
killed by a fucking griffin?
Especially a friendly one to us.
Ah, but yeah, I mean that might even be worse. That she was killed by a dragon. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to us at all. I don't think she likes me at all. I don't really like her that much, but I mean, she did sacrifice herself. I mean,
Well, we've done plenty of stupid stuff.
yeah, but maybe she just needs, just a little reassuring, hey, it's okay to die and be brought back to life and probably die again at some point. Um, I don't know. I'm just not very good at that, and I don't think me and her get on that much. But if you see her, then maybe just give her a nod and say, hey,
I know. We'll sort something out. But I know you were a little bit disappointed of not being able to get any trophies from your kill and such. And Cloud will rummage around in his haversack and pull out his the second, well, his last of the two red dragon horns he took off the one in Westrunn, and hand it to Toto. Little memento.
thanks, man. I was really gutted that we couldn't take anything from it. Nobody will literally nobody will ever believe that I killed a dragon with an arrow up the arsehole. Nobody.
Hey, I was stood right next to you. I saw the whole thing. I believe you, and I'll back you up every time.
Good, good. I will. Man, once we get back, I want to make some money off of this thing. We should be getting jobs and shit. We should have like nobles giving us jobs and shit. We can like double charge. It's gonna be awesome.
We could start up our own company.
Doing what?
Well, we get young adventurers in, and we get paid to send them on jobs.
Shit, that's genius. Then we don't have to die.
Exactly. Sorted.
Sorted. We can just go fishing all day long.
This is true. We do need to go fishing.
Yeah, when we get some downtime, once we make our first meal, we'll celebrate with a fish. Anyway, I'm gonna have some breakfast. You want in, or
Oh, well, I'm gonna have a snoop around, and if you want to come with, I found a key.
you've piqued my interest?
It says cargo bay.
Interest unpiqued.
Let's go.
All right, I'm following.
Heading down to the cargo bay. Are you going to try and recruit anyone else on your escapade?
Depends on who we see. I'd assume the Tiefling brothers are probably passed out drunk, knowing those two.
Or they're bladdered in the middle of what is essentially, I wouldn't call it the port thing up the top. They're both up there, just like slumped over the sides of it with like tankards in hand. As you walk by, you're like, I don't know it can rain in the astral sea. Oh wait, it says to with ale. Ugh, smells awful, but good on you boys and carry on your way.
If we see any of our party, we'll say if they're interested in coming, but Otherwise, we'll just have a wander around and have a look.
By the time you get to anywhere near the other,
No, you cut off in the middle there, Scott.
I'll say that on the route down to the interior of the ship, if they pass anybody, it'll be after what if they've done anything else. So if Elspeth or Copy want to do anything, I'm assuming Copy's probably passed out still.
Yeah.
Elspeth?
No, not really. I'll probably just be milling about, going from person to person, making sure everyone's okay.
There's one little observation you probably make of Marcus when you next see him, with like Viola about 2 steps ahead of him. He's covered in claw marks.
Don't need to know. I'm just gonna wink at Viola as she walks past.
There's a kind of half kind of like shrug at the side and just keeps walking with a bit of a sway in her step. Every now and again you see Marcus kind of like not limp but kind of go ah totally worth it just down the corridor.
Oh,
Worst part is, I don't know if I want to know or not.
I'm pretty sure that was some fun with Wild Shape. But yeah, no, I'll just be sort of milling around. So if the boys pass me, they pass me. If they do not, they do not.
A couple of the former free slaves all kind of mulling about, kind of whispers have already started about this random group who have came out of nowhere and saved all their lives, that kind of usual twaddle until you eventually see them kind of part like the Red Sea when you see the 2 boys coming in the corridor.
I've got this image of the slaves just parting to let Cloud and Toto go through, and that's actually kind of amusing.
Toto straight out like lording it up, like he owns the fucking place.
Cloud sort of walking behind him, just going, Dragon Slayer here, mine out the way, Dragon Slayer coming through.
I will go to miss their room for one more in your little Dragon Slayer crew that you've got going here. I know I didn't do much, but still.
You did more than enough. Of course you can join us.
Everybody contributed. If it wasn't for everybody's contribution, we probably wouldn't have got announced. So, and for you, my dear, you're always welcome.
I will follow along with them. I was like, where are we going then? You seem like 2 people on a mission.
We have a key. We're going to find out what it opens.
Nice. Let's
Don't get too excited. It's for the cargo hold.
The cargo hold is normally full of cargo.
Exactly.
That's not necessary. That might mean treasure, Toto.
All right. My interest is peaked again.
Didn't even realize that, my friend. What did these guys steal?
Other than people, of course.
Don't insult my intelligence. I am the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, never, Dragon Slayer. I would never insult such a mighty being like yourself.
That's right.
I, on the other hand, would, because someone's got to keep you humble, my dear.
Well, just because it's you, I'll allow it.
Shall we proceed then?
To the cargo bay.
We need stares from all the people here.
They're trying not to stare, but they can't help but going, that lot of misfits killed a bunch of red dragons and saved their asses. They're awesome, but we don't want to like make them uncomfortable, but we're still making them uncomfortable kind of glares. And they kind of just again move out your ways when you try to walk through. Moment, we'll just say that he's walked past them and take note of this bitch is going to get a talking to in a moment. But first, cargo bay.
Let us go to the cargo bay.
3 cargo bays. You see, there's obviously like there's one that's stored with like armor and weapons. There's one that's like food and rations and stuff like that in case they get stranded anywhere. Third one's just kind of shipboard repairs. Get to number 4. It's under a very heavy set lock.
I think you're up, Cloud.
Elspeth is gonna very subtly giggle at that.
Later, my dear. And he will produce the key and unlock the door.
And it takes a fair bit of like both shoulders to kind of turn this thing because it's a very heavy lock and the latch comes off. That padlock's about like almost like 5 pounds of just reinforced adamantite just drops to the floor. Puts almost a dent in the floor where it's obviously been dropped beforehand. Cargo door just slides to the side. Pretty dark.
Do I know? Light, let's find out. Actually, I don't need it. I can see in the dark.
Yeah, so can Cloud.
I can't see.
All I can see is pitch black, but you guys managed to see the kind of vague outlines of various containers and objects on like either mannequins or just stuff just about in here. You can tell the cargo bay is full with stuff.
Is there candles or torches on the wall that I can see?
There are on both sides.
I'm gonna prestidigitation and light them all up.
When she does one, Cloud does prestidigitation the other one as well. And just smiles at her.
Adorable, gonna stop. So as you both kind of do your thing, the lights all go on, and you see what is essentially why this one was the dubbed up one. It is, of course, the treasure hoard.
I'm gonna close the door behind us.
There's a lot in here.
Okay, so we split this shit 3 ways.
Downstate. Soon as we land, we make a run for it.
I am disappointed in both of you.
Don't worry, I'll run real slow.
Yes, but you now have a lion that runs a lot faster.
Damn. You're right. That's a lot of shit. How are we gonna get all that out of it?
Cloud sort of looks at the haversack and like, I don't think it's still gonna fit.
Well, how about we take what we need or what we would like, and the rest is given to the people that we have that were taken as slaves. There's no point taking stuff we can't carry, and it'll help them.
But I want it all. All right.
Can Toto make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh no.
His wisdom's not bad. It's his intelligence that's terrible.
What is his intelligence, by the way? I was looking at polymorph beasts, so.
-2.
Okay.
It's a 7, I think. Was it saving throw?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
As I was speaking about giving the treasure to people who need it, you just feel this sort of very faint voice in the back of your mind going, "But you earned it. It's yours." The lion shares it would speak. You did all the hard work. You deserve the bigger share. You deserve it all. Look at it. And you're looking out and you can see everything in here that can sparkle it's a little bit brighter. Any gems that you can see outside of an open case are starting to gleam a little bit brighter. Anything with magical essence to it has that very almost like an aura of just come and pick me up kind of thing. I just kind of go wider and wider until again, if someone else speaks in the room, it kind of snaps you out of it. A very faint kind of hungerish sensation now filling you.
How about we just have a look exactly what's here and we can go through it all.
Huh? Sorry, I was miles away there.
Dreaming of how much fish we could wrangle with all this money.
Something like that.
Why would you wrangle a fish? Why would you not use a fishing rod?
That's the fishing lingo, isn't it? A wrangle.
I've never fished before, but I do not believe that's what they say.
Neither have I. I grew up on the coastal cities and I don't know much about fishing.
I also grew up on it. Imon's coastal, right? Out of character.
Yes.
I also grew up in a coastal city. I know a lot about water, but not a lot about fishing.
While you two are talking about fishing, I want to start crawling into all of the treasure. Just like get it all around me.
Just find like a couple of chests, just tip them over with a bit of heft and just splurges out silver, gold, you name it. There's a very small but very finely done case that you just go tip that shit over and there's platinum coming out of it. This is a ridiculous hoard right now. There's also bits of treasure just lying about. There's assortment of items on like either little plimps or little hold alls. It's ridiculous, and you're just swimming about in these coins, just like, I'm at about half the size of an average person, so this is better than usual. Haha.
I'm straight up Scrooge McDuck in it.
Very much just ducktails over, woohoo, straight in.
Yeah.
Elspeth is going to go, well, let's start off by sorting out what is magical and what is not, and she's going to cast Detect Magic.
Oh, various items within this cargo hold start to glisten with like ding 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 ding. Biggest one of all, however, is in Cloud's pocket. Giggity.
He put that in the handy haversack. I shouldn't be able to see that.
I know, I was joking. I knew it's
Okay.
the haversack.
He wasn't talking about that magical thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You put what in the haversack?
When he was saying about my wood growing, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to Delta every week.
Planting the seeds, quite literally, for a deck joke in the making.
Oh god.
I'm sure Cloud will be planting the seeds at some point as well.
Thank you. Delta's back, ladies and gentlemen, every Monday, please.
So I'm going
Yeah,
to start pointing out the magical items.
Oh, for the record, anyone who does watch this, we did go through the list out again, but we're just going to do it for the sake of RP. quite a list here, considering the fact that these motherfuckers killed a 17 CR and a 14 CR enemy. It's a lot of shit to go through.
At level
Eh.
7.
Yeah, you got lucky. Anyway,
So,
first couple of things you spot are two sets of bracers. One of them's got a longbow emblazoned on them. The other one's got a small shield emblazoned on them.
I'll be taking those. The ones with the longbows on. That looks like it belongs to me.
There's also a wand with a little musical note on the end of the shaft.
If either of you two look at me for that, I'm going to smack you.
just keep my focus on Toto.
Also, a strange crystal-like object is sitting on what looks like a little bowl. The bowl itself not magical; it's the crystal itself that's magical.
Cool. I will point that out too.
Is the bowl shiny?
The whole room is shiny, Toto.
Everything's all kind of shiny to a degree, depends on your type of edition. But the bowl itself isn't really worth much. It's just for holding the wherever this shard thing is. There is a black silk-like handkerchief that it seems to be giving off a strong magical aura. A bottle of very strange-looking oil next to it. And no, it is not that type of oil before anyone says a fucking word. That again will come later. But
What colour's the oil?
DMG open, but we'll just see it's kind of it's silverish in hue. I
Putting
think
the DM on the spot.
always great when I'm partially dying. Thanks. But yeah, some strange looking oily stuff. There's a bunch of feather tokens, two swan ones, and an anchor sitting on a little kind of almost washing line kind of hanging from them all. They must have thought they were either wind chimes or something because they're just sitting up there. There was a ring with a bunch of stars on it. One that looks like a mannequin's hand because that's not creepy at all.
Can I check if that's actually a mannequin's hand and not some real person's hand that they've chopped off and managed to not have it go horrid?
Over to shake it, it turns out it's the hand effect now. Whoo! I mean, kidding. Nah, it is genuinely a
Elspeth's the
mannequin's
big
hand.
bad.
It is genuinely a mannequin's hand.
Cool.
It doesn't fit with the rest of the deck kind of Gith aesthetic, so you must assume that whatever they've picked that thing up, they've stole it from somewhere.
I'm assuming at this point they've stolen most of this box.
Yeah, but you think, okay, they steal treasure, they steal people, right? Okay, but why the fuck did they take the mannequin?
Someone had a
Oop.
fetish. That's instantly where Elspeth's mind goes.
Yeah, moving swiftly along. Next to that mannequin's hand, which is going to sit upright, there is actually a full body mannequin with what looks like a circlet sitting on its head with a little mockingbird emblazoned on the front of it.
Is that all the magical auras?
Section of the room, as you look over to the other side, you see a silver, no, sorry, a blue sapphire with what looks like a kind of swirling effect in the center of it. As you walk over to approach it, you kick over what looks like a saddle with scrolling on the side of it of various animals that you'd assume a saddle would go on, like horses, griffins, the likes,
Direwolf.
direwolves, if you're that into that kind of sort of thing.
Giant fly.
giant flies. Get some buzz when you dry them. And the last object, you think, okay, how are we going to carry all this shit? Plus assortment of, as you go to the other side of the cargo hold, you can see not only is there like all the coins just spilled over with total still rolling in the middle of it. There's a couple of other fancy little things, but there's two more magic item. One more magic item that you can probably recognize from Traveler's Tales. Is looks like a kind of backpack or satchel, quite big, bag of holding. Recognize it by reputation that, oh yeah, that will be quite handy for carrying half this shit.
I'm going to pick it up and sort of indicate it towards Toto and go, well, that's how you're going to get most of this home.
Well, let me take this bag. I'll start stuffing it in.
Stuffing all the coins, there's plenty of silver, there's plenty of gold, and there's a good couple handfuls worth of platinum. You're stuffing it all in, and as you look up, you can see a gold chalice, a silver necklace with a gem pendant, a quite nice sized fire opal, and a star ruby. And the last little bit that they're all sitting on is an embroidered silk and velvet mantle set with numerous moonstones sitting it. That, ladies and gents, is about 99% of Tal'Dorei Monday's Delta Group's treasure hoard for their shenanigans last week.
Did Elizabeth spot a little napkin type magic item?
The
Yes.
black,
The black silk handkerchief.
As soon as she points that out and Cloud sees it, knowing what it is and seeing Toto start chucking stuff into the bag of holding, he quickly steps over and grabs it and goes, you don't want to put these items together. And he steps back with it.
As you step back with it, you step back with it, you accidentally unfold it, and it just turns into a hole as you drop it to the floor.
Yeah, Cloud would have went, this would be an easier way. If you just step back here, Toto, Elizabeth. And as they join him, he unfolds it and throws it into the middle of the room and watches everything sort of drop into it.
Maybe we should keep the magic items out for now to be able to get our lovely Maka to tell us what they are.
Leave that out the way for the time being.
Where the fuck are they gone?
Cloud sort of grabs the side and picks it up and turns back in and refolds into a napkin. I've only heard of these things. Well, I've seen one before, but they're very useful.
Where's all my gold? Where's all my treasure gone?
Generally the same type of space that it would have been if you put it in the bag, but you just don't want. Just a word of warning: do not put. And he gestures to the napkin. That bag or my haversack in each other. It will turn out very badly, and you'll lose pretty much everything you ever had in either of them.
All right.
So while it's there, we'll grab out pretty much all the magical items Elsbeth pointed out, and just let all the gold, jewel, silver, platinum, jewels, and everything drop into it, and then fold it up.
Well, Elspeth's got all the magic items that you can point out all stashed to one side. You've got all the kind of material wealth of coins and the assortment bits of treasure in the horrible hole, and fold that all up. Guys, cleared this place out. Cargo hole has officially just been wiped clean.
Can we say out of character that Maka just identifies them all for us?
Yeah, she can identify them when you get the chance to kind of go, hey, Maka, can you boop, and she'll do that, which will be any moment after if Elspeth wishes to go there with the silent but violent copy. Or
No one's told me exactly what she did yet, so
yeah, she just like, give you a big mouthful of nothing, 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 and then off again. So if you want to go find out what you've done, go ahead. If not, we'll go to Maka identifying all the items.
I'll probably
Yes.
go. I'd probably go after probably evening time, so I'd probably go after we've identified them because maybe I can go with gifts.
So you find Maka just kind of in her room, just minding her own business, kind of messing about with the little scroll holder with the bladed wand in it. As soon as you see her coming in, she's like, "Okay," puts it in, cleans it back up, puts it back in the bag. What do you need?
Would you mind? We found a bit of a hole, and you're the only person in our group that can tell us what they are. So, would you mind?
Okay, just lay them out.
Look at Cloud.
Yeah. Cloud will start putting them out for her.
Items just get laid out in one room. She goes through them all, goes, bag of holding, saddle of cavalier, ring of shooting stars, koala's feather tokens, portable hoe, oil of sharpness, point to the kind of strange oil substance. Points at the blue sapphire and it kind of retracts his finger as soon as it starts to kind of go. Elemental gem, be careful not to break it. Braces of defense with the shield, archery with the bow. Kind of giggles a little bit, going wand of conducting for the when she points to the one with the little note at the bottom of it. Picks up the kind of crystal and goes dark shard amulet and kind of looks at Cloud for a second. Maybe useful, maybe not. Shrugs, puts it back down. Anything else?
Did we get the circlet identified?
Goes, oh, picks up the circlet. Never encountered one of these before, but how about we just call it Mockingbird circlet? Because when she points to the mockingbird on it, I think it'd be good for you. Very good for her, and she kind of taps her throat as if
Oh, yay.
not that you need it, but useful.
Anything that can make me more charming, I will take it. But I do have something on my head already. I think walking around with two would make me look a little bit stupid. So I guess I will pop this back in the pile of up for grabs, and she'll take off her circlet of blasting and pop that in.
Oh.
Well, so who do we think should have what? Boys have just fallen asleep.
So I was just scrolling up to see what we had discussed.
Yeah, I was scrolling through the chat to find it as well.
At least I don't have to scroll for you.
DM will be AFK while you guys do your thing. Back in a sec.
So if I'm correct, Tota, you're taking braces of archery and the saddle.
Yep.
Elizabeth, you're taking the mockingbird, and that's it.
And popped the circlet of blasting in.
And Azzy will take the circlet of blasting, if I remember. Maka was debating on taking the braces of defense. Elemental gem was I'll just say it's a party item, so we can, same with the sharpness and the feather tokens. So it is just the ring of shooting stars. So I don't know who wanted that one. I don't know if it was Maka.
She said it wasn't useful for her, but she could take it to sell it. I don't know if it's useful for anyone else. I don't know if Alex would want it for Azzy.
The ring, you can cast dancing lights and lights at will with the ring. You have 6 charges. You can cast fairy fire with 1 charge, 2 charges to make lightning balls. Expending more charges. Yeah, it's very funny. To make multiple or for less damage over a larger area, or make 3 charges, 1 to 3 charges, sorry, to make an explosion in a 15-foot cube for 5d4 fire damage. So pretty much a bit of fairy fire to help out and a couple of attack spells.
I don't know. Maybe we should leave that one up for grabs for now.
Yeah, we'll hold on to that one just for now until we know.
I think
Dark Shard. Go on.
I was going to say, because Scott is back, the question with the braces was, would you allow the braces of defense to work with mage armor? Because technically neither of them is actual armor, but both of them can be worn without armor. They can only be used without armor.
Armor both would work, I would say, for the time being, because obviously the braces are a natural add-on, whereas the mage armor has a limit. I'll say for the duration of your mage armor, unless someone goes dispel that shit, or we hit you with an AOE, which is always going to be a potential thing. I'll say for the time being, possibility for like going back on this, but for the time being, both would work in tandem.
Cool. So the braces of defense will go to Maka then.
Fair enough. So yeah, so that just leaves a couple of what is it? The tokens, the gem, the sharpness, the wand of conducting, and the dark shard amulet. Fortunately, I don't think we know any other warlocks, so that can probably be sold with the wand of conducting, and we can go from there.
Yeah, I will definitely go. I do believe we should sell this and pop up the wand. Don't think that would be very good in anyone's hands here.
True. I think Ellie would kill me if I gave it to the children.
I also think Devdin would kill me if I gave it to the children.
And we can check the money out later. As we were walking past, what sort of, you said one of the cargo bays was basically an armory. Was it all just GIF armor and weapons, or was it the stuff that was taken from the shield?
Shield stuff was kept there as well, and the rest of it's all Gith armory, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned it end of last week. But you did find the particular Gith's weapon that has now got like ivory embossed on it because of it got the kill in London a good few sessions back.
Yeah. I've got the
Yeah.
ivory handled longsword and an ivory tusk.
Just make sure you got those. Yeah, the armory kept a hold of any weapons that anyone had been carrying on them. Standard, normal issue shields and either spears or short swords. A longbow if you a couple of longbows if you were to look for them long and hard enough.
In regards to the gold, would anyone mind me taking some of it just now as a gift? Elizabeth has been acting bizarrely, and I want to go have a chat, and I think the chat would work better if I went bearing gifts. Although, of course, you two are more than welcome to come along and join in this chat.
I think we can all go together if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you're going, I'll come.
Should we sort out what we're gifting before we leave, just so we don't pull out to the whole lot?
How much would you say?
I don't know how much was there, so I don't know.
I know, like 20 gold.
For the sake of brevity, I'll say that someone did an approximate count based on what was noted on the chests. The actual total gold coin value out of all the silver, gold, and platinum that is there,
7,000.
not counting the physical items of treasure for potential resale or magic items, is 18,700 gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good lord.
just the coins.
Just in coins, 9,000 silver, 4,800 gold, and 130 platinum, which at the exchange rate that platinum normally goes for is 13,000. Yeah.
I used I used a website to give me the account. The website told me 9,000. Okay.
Oh no.
I counted the same as Azuli, blimey. We both got it wrong.
So,
Yeah, the exchange rate is 1 copper piece, then it's 10 copper pieces for a silver, 10 silver pieces of gold, and 100 gold pieces is a platinum piece. So when you put 9,000 silver, it's 900 gold, and 130 platinum pieces is, when you times that by 100, is a 13,000.
So 13,000 total.
18,700 when you put it all together.
so
That's not including the physical. Yeah, guys, you hit. I've Griff Yankee Supreme Commander's personal bank right now.
So I will go, well, considering that is just the coins.
That's roughly 3,106 3,117 gold each. If you divide everything by 6.
I will go, well, considering the amount, should we start with, if she's not getting any of the magical items, maybe 1,000 gold? Maybe that will be enough for a gift.
I think that's fair. We can start off with 1,000 gold for. Well, we'll give her 1,000 gold now, and we can sort out the rest later.
Seems excessive, but fine.
She did sacrifice first. Oh my gosh, me and words apparently today. She did sacrifice herself for us, I think.
Well, and Cloud looks at Toto. We both died as well before, and we didn't get 1,000 gold.
I was just going to say the
Well,
same.
if you two want to take 1,000 gold now, that's fine by me. I will not say anything.
Is this a bluff? Are you calling my bluff?
Would I ever? Certainly not around gold.
I'll wait till it's all divided up and then I'll pick the scrap.
But shall we go for this conversation?
Yes, lead the way, my dear. If you know where she is.
I can find out. I'll cast a message and go, copied. Yeah, no, I'm saying it in my head so I can say that. I'll go, copy, dearest. We come bearing gifts. So whereabouts in the ship are you?
After a bit of a pause, you get a message back saying, I'm in my room.
I assume she'll describe where her room is, considering
Yeah,
technically
you'll,
no one
yeah,
has
you'll
yeah.
describe,
official rooms.
yeah, take a left to that bit. If you smell wet dog and see claw marks in the corridor, yeah, just take 2 steps from that one.
Cool. I will lead them and I will gently knock on the door.
I would have changed into Elizabeth by now before I answered.
Because
Yes.
I did say we come bearing gifts. I did emphasise the we.
Yes.
It's us.
Opening the door. I'll open the door.
Can we come in?
Yes, of course.
I assume the boys follow.
On rank and file behind you.
Toto's at the back.
Yep, follow her in.
I was not anticipating this being a group conversation, but let's go for it. Well, for a start, we went exploring in the ship, so we have found some items and some gold and things. So we thought you would be able to use this, and I'll hand her over the gold.
Ooh, thank you. I do need some gold. I have big plans.
I do hope those big plans do not involve sacrificing yourself again.
There was no sacrificing. What are you talking about?
I'll just give her a knowing look. She knows you died and she knows you were down the corridor, so she's assuming, because no one else has told her, but she's assuming, and she's just going to give you a look.
Oh, that. No, it wasn't sacrifice. It was I tried to run, I got caught, I died. There's nothing else to it. I'm gonna kind of give a slight glare to the other two.
Oh, okay, here we go. So which one of us is more scary now? Because I'm looking at the other two.
So I've got a +3 for intimidation.
I've got a +12. Oh no, for intimidation, I think I'm 6.
Go for it, see who's more scary.
A +8.
Bitch fight about to
sorry.
happen.
I get advantage against being frightened.
Damn it,
If
Copy's more scary.
It just so happens in this particular set of rolls that copies the meanie here.
It was that. There was no sacrifice. To be honest, I didn't expect to live, but here I am.
I'm gonna go, well, that's good, because I can't speak for these two, but I'm definitely not worth a sacrifice, so. I don't know if these two would say they're worth it or not, but I'm definitely not.
yeah, I'm probably worth it.
I was just doing what I do. I don't die. That
That's
thing before, I still didn't die. See,
That
I'm still
time
here.
you died. That time you died, you didn't die.
Exactly.
I feel like I should start a club of just me and Maka, people who have not died, yet somehow we always, well, I'm
But you
always
get the
falling unconscious.
It would be the 3L then.
The 3 Ls?
Don't forget Azir.
Oh yeah, fucking great.
Hey man, if it wasn't for Azir, Elizabeth would still be dead. So I think you should cut him some slack.
I will cut him some slack when he learns not to be a typical elf.
Racist.
I'm an elf.
Even worse.
And yes, before anyone asks, I'm a typical elf. I'm an asshole too. So I dislike myself as much as I dislike other elves. It's fine.
That's fine. I don't really know what other tabaxi are like, so.
I've never really met that many other elves. I've never got to know any other elves. Elizabeth, are you an elf?
Um, not when I last checked.
Earn enough gold
I'm-
and she'll be anything you want, darling. Cool.
No,
cool.
that's Elspeth.
well, yeah. Uh, no. I'm technically human. If you want to call me something.
How about we just
Yeah.
stick with calling you Elizabeth for now? We don't need to call
Yeah.
you a human.
Yeah. It's bad for business if people learn my new real name.
I don't know why. Your name is not Elizabeth, it's Copy.
Sorry.
Oh, Elspeth is giving up. I did not fucking tell him that. Don't fucking. That's not me.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought you just said that.
No.
But you did say that Elizabeth wasn't your real name.
Yeah, she said Elizabeth wasn't her real name, but I've not told anyone what her actual real name is.
Alright, sorry, Cloud would say, so Elizabeth isn't your real name.
No, no. When I started my business, I realized that you need to have aliases um, in order to not get traced back so easily. Elizabeth is but the most common one I tend to use. I don't remember my first name. It's been so long since I used it. But anyways, that's reminiscing of the past.
By the way, my dear, I wanted to show you something. I have taken a note out of your book, and I've learnt a new arcane ability. And she's gonna click her fingers, and she is now going to look at the spitting image of Elizabeth, just slightly taller.
uh, that's quite amusing. Oh, that's an amazing GIF. That is quite an amusing trick. I haven't seen anyone else being able to do that in. Well, I haven't seen anyone else be able to do that.
It's not quite as good as you're able to do. It's very much an illusion. If you touch me, you can feel that it's an illusion, but it's the best I could do. Now there's two of us that can change.
What about the other elf girl? I thought she could change as well, no?
Ah, true. Now there is three of us that can change. She doesn't do it very often. I forget she can do it. Oh, four. Cloud can too.
Oh, am I the only person that can't?
You and Azzy.
We'll start our own.
Well, he needs a friend of one of us, so maybe you can be his friend.
Maybe the one he brought back from the dead.
In kind of doing this conversation between the three of them, I'm just gonna kind of mutter under my breath. You guys would fetch a pretty penny. with that.
That's a perception of everyone in the room.
15.
20.
12.
Well, Cloud certainly heard that. And Elspeth didn't quite catch it, but knew something was said. It just sounded like her. Cloud heard every word with crystal clear clarity.
Cloud just sort of side eyes her and just gives her a look of, you can try.
In any case, what's the plan now? Are we done? Are we going somewhere else?
I don't think we discussed it.
Well, I think we should at least, from what I remember from our trip last time, hopefully this ship is a bit faster. We should be back in the material realm in probably, time is still funny, but maybe half a day or so. And then we can go from there.
Honestly, I don't want to hang around in Westrunn because I didn't want to go there in the first place, and we went there, and now we're here, and people have died, and Westrunn sucks. But I do want to, a little bit of that glory for bringing all these slaves back.
Well,
And
one of the other new abilities I've acquired in our time here is the ability to use what are called teleportation circles. Now I only know one in Westrunn, and the other one I know is in Amon, so we could always go to Amon. But I'm up for going anywhere. I like you guys. I'm pretty happy staying as a group and going where the wind takes us.
unfortunately, we couldn't. I doubt we'd be able to keep one of these ships. But if we can get our hands on one of the other smaller ships that are coming with us, persuade the gift to give it up and make good on Miranda, because we did take the ship she was hoping to have and use, and so and so. Leaving Westrunn a little bit more better off than we. I know we're helping all these people on the ship, but annoying a noble is a pain in the ass.
Especially when we put so much effort into not annoying her.
Well, we put so much effort into cleaning up after we annoyed her.
And we did have a banging party at our house. So we owe her something.
Agreed. Hopefully they will give us one of the ships.
Yeah. I totally ruined the sheets in one of her guest rooms, so I owe her a ship. They were pretty bad.
What you did in that room, I'm pretty sure she'd have to burn that room to the ground.
I would not blame her.
I tell you what, Toto, when we get to Westrunn, if we spend at least an evening there, I will talk to a friend of mine and potentially get you an evening with someone that would be much more pleasant.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And when we get to Imon, I'll sort out someone so you can actually have some standards.
I can also help with that in Amon. Probably better than I can in Westrunn. What I want to know is how Cloud would be able to do that. Have you taken quite a lot in Amon?
I know my things. You'll have to find out. There's a lovely place called the Emerald Heart in Oman.
Would I know what that was? TDM. I haven't worked out which one I worked in, so
A history check. Rings a bell, but you're not quite certain.
Okay, so that's not the one I worked in then. That was a question.
Oh, it's not the one you worked in.
Cool, awesome. That one rings a bell, but not the one I was employed in.
No, it's it was a different establishment a few years back, but as my sister took it over, after my sister took it over, she chose to change the name to something a bit more better class.
Ah, interesting. Most places in Oman have changed since I've been living, so it doesn't surprise me that the name has changed.
Cloud, are you gonna set me up with your sister? Is that what you're saying?
No, I am not setting you up with my sister. She'll probably cut you little friend off,
I like
gesturing
the
down
sound
to
of
your
her.
Hmm. We'll see.
Question is, could you handle a tabaxi?
I'll try anything twice.
Well, I know I can.
How many have you been with then?
A woman does not kiss and tell.
I give Elizabeth a look like we shouldn't be here.
We're in her room.
Exactly. I'm like, ooh, this is awkward.
Actually, I do have some things I want to get on with. Is it okay if you guys excuse me? But I want to have a quick chat with Toto and Cloud privately, if possible, please.
I know where I am not wanted. I shall excuse myself. I will be on deck if anyone needs me or
Thank
wants
you.
me.
Um, I'll wait for Elspeth to leave and then kind of look out to make sure that she's actually not within earshot, close the door, and then look to the. She cannot know. That's the deal that we have to make. Regardless of what you think of me, she cannot know.
I don't keep secrets as easy as you do. I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm just saying it's difficult for me. But I'll try.
I'll look at Cloud.
I just looks at you with a half smile and just goes, we'll see. And sort of nods to you and leaves.
I guess I'll leave too. I just give Elizabeth a tap on the shoulder.
Thank you for looking after her, for what it's worth.
Like, I know we haven't got off to the best start, but I hope that we can kind of put a lot of that behind. I guess you're sticking around. Um, Elspeth seems to care about you. I think Cloud is kind of fond of you too. So I can make some effort.
She cares about everyone. That's her problem. But thank you. And let this be a new start. Toto.
All right, whatever your name is. And I'll leave.
Yeah, and I'll close the door and take out my instruction manual and start kind of seeing if I can add stuff to that as well. Maybe try to dissect the guns that I have, and maybe basically just put some of that information into the instruction manual as
Or not when you get back. Since the others aren't here, I will say
Oh,
time pass.
you cut off there.
It says after you guys all leave Copy's room, a little bit of time will pass, and you'll re-enter the material plane within eye shot of Westrunn.
Just to ask out a game. How are you? What is like currency of gold here? If is like 5 gold really flamboyant, or is it just like an average current?
I think if I remember right, Westrunn's not too bad off, so 5 golds will be average. Maybe about, well, lower average, I would say.
So like middle class kind of income.
About that, yeah. A lot of like shit going on in Taldor the last like 10 years, so that there's been influxes of like, yeah, there's a lot of gold, there's not much going on. Oh, there's back and forth. Westrunn's been in particular has been having a bit of a up and down kind of period. So
Just working out some numbers. As we start like getting into material realm, Cloud will sort of bolster all the shields and direct them to the armory for their to pick up their equipment. And he'll gesture for them all to, if they want, grab a bloody sword if you want some extra coin. And he'll do the same for like the other slaves, the non-combatants, or if you see any, well, anything worth a little bit of money, take a sword, take some armor, especially like the silver inlaid stuff, and such.
persuasion check, and we'll see how many of them decide. Up arms.
I think you said persuasion, not perception.
Yeah, persuasion. Yeah, why would?
Sorry, a little bit better.
You on board? There's around 50 slaves on this ship because of its larger size. We'll say about just under half, about 20 odds. Well, it will mostly be the shields, and a couple of the other non-combatants will pick up weapons and stuff and be like, yeah, okay, we'll follow along with this.
But I just mean, obviously, to collect their equipment, might as well go home with their stuff in
Alright,
a way.
I thought you were like, okay, I'm gathering these all for a specific thing, right? If it was just a case of just
No,
telling
no.
people to get their shit, they're gonna go get their shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Just telling them to get their shit. If they want to, like, take anything of wealth, like you say, some of the gift swords are silver, so people can make a bit of money. So just go. You're welcome to it. Just grab what you want, but share it around.
Oh, they'll do that, and they'll just take some bits of like get Yankee armor, a couple of silver swords, some non-silver swords that they found. Just
I'll start pointing out like the captain's quarters, nice linen, the beast head trophies on the wall. You can get like 20 gold for that. Pointing out that sort of stuff.
They all spend their time just going through the ship. Anything that's not nailed down and vital to the ship's functioning, they just take it for bounty. And like say, once she's into the material plane, get within like say about half an hour's flight from Westrunn, because they decided that the best idea would be to let's not appear over the city this time because we're here in quote unquote peace. And they're on the final approach when the gifts Zerai monk starts giving you the call of we'll be arriving very shortly.
Cloud will probably help direct them to a nice little clearing out the way.
From a couple of directions, they go right, okay, over that hill there, try and not, park it too close to the trees, blah blah blah, and you just take everything on board, and the larger ship sets down, a couple of smaller ones set down, and like the rest of their passengers disembark. And you aren't even on the ground for like a few moments when you just see like a response group of riders coming out from Westrunn.
Could I, before we were about to land, could I have gone to Viola and Marcus's room just briefly?
Okay, you go to their room.
I don't think you want to do that.
I'll knock before I kind of go in.
Go and knock it 3 times. On the second one, the door opens.
And I'm just gonna walk in. So you guys are bloody useless, but you survived. And that's the most important thing. Take this. Look after yourselves. And don't be idiots. And I'll kind of drop 2 pouches of 100 each for each one of them and just walk out.
Don't even say a word. They just kind of just scorn at you as you call them useless. I'm pretty sure I remember right, it was Viola who got the kill shot on one of the young dragons for you.
Yeah. Still useless. They got caught twice.
Or behind you with a bit of a slam, gather up their things, whatever they've not destroyed in the room, and leave once you disembark.
Yeah, I do want to speak to him before they go as well.
Cool. Everyone's all gathering at the top deck, anticipating the landing. You see them as they pass by you.
Hey, I'm still not sure if I did the right thing. I've been getting kind of mixed messages of people, but I really hope that you can find some sort of freedom. If you need, I don't know where you're from, but if you need taken somewhere, I mean, we can take you. Um, but I hope I did the right thing, bringing buying you guys, and that's that's all really. Just I'm glad you're still alive.
They look at one another for a moment, kneel down to your kind of height level. Marcus gives you a pat on the shoulder and says, "We appreciate everything you did, our little friend. We won't forget you anytime soon. If we cross paths again." Gives a kind of hard pat to his own chest and goes, "We'll be sure to look out for you and all your friends. Except for that changeling core. Oh, I don't know how you could fucking stand her." And stands back up. At which
I
point,
just
Viola leans down and she gives you a little peck on the cheek and goes, "Yeah, she's a cunt, but the rest of you seem alright." Stands up, gives you a bow, and follows Marcus off the ship.
I just watch him leave, feeling a little bit proud of myself.
Anyone else before the welcoming committee sees this bunch of gift ships just dropping off the people who nicked a certain time ago?
I'm gonna make sure that I'm not easily visible. I do not want any kind of oh my god, you're a hero kind of nonsense. So she is going to make herself small at the back and pretend she's not there.
Seeing Elizabeth trying to hide, Cloud will step over to her and say, if you don't want to deal with them, would you do the honours of, and gesturing to one of the smaller ships, seeing if you can get your hands on one of those as good tidings?
I will certainly try.
And they will deal with our welcome committee. And Cloud will head out to the front of the everybody disembarking.
Oh, you see some of the slaves just do the whole sort of like not kiss the dirt, but kind of like land again. Oh fuck, we're back on the material plane kind of thing. Just like grateful that they're back. Several of the shields try and keep a loose formation, but as soon as they get within reach of the guards, they can just like drop weapons and go, yeah. We've been through hell. Could you maybe you see the riders and this is kind of getting like a, yeah, okay, we get it. Take 5. All the slaves have been seen to as the welcome committee or checking in. They're going to cautious eye out to what they can still see several Gethner sitting on some of the smaller ships. Some of them are on ballistas, not being threatening, but kind of like a, yeah, we're not hostile, but we can be if shit goes down. As Elspeth approaches one of the smaller ships.
I was about to ask how far the smaller ship is away from the bigger ship.
Well, the closest one to you is like the tiniest size, which is the one you originally had that he's decked out a little bit.
How far away is it?
40 feet walk.
I'm gonna dimension door over there. I'm trying to make myself just not noticeable, so if she doesn't have to walk between the two ships, she won't.
I'll say that whilst crowd of people walked off, you can kind of slip by and just kind of boop outside. Or if you want to be bold, there's 80 feet away. There's the size up, which is the one that's properly armed and bigger.
Nah, let's go with the little one. I'd rather get a ship than not get a ship. So I will walk over to our little one that we came on and find
same type, not the exact same one. That one went kaboom when Maka hit it.
I know, but
same class.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find the leader of that ship.
Oh, you see a Githyanki knight just sharpening his sword at the side of the helm.
Hey. I don't know.
That you're straight faced.
Just testing if he speaks common.
You growl something and you hear a voice from behind your shoulder goes, I'll translate if need be. You look over, it's the Gif Sarai, who's just like silent as the grave, been following up behind you.
I'm going to go, well, I have come over to potentially talk and see if we may be able to commandeer this ship. Obviously, the ship we came on was used to blow up the floating island in the sky, and we kind of didn't take that one with permission. So I'm hoping, if you don't mind, we may be able to, as a goodwill gesture, take this one, and then in future, if you have need of us, you can, for most things, obviously I'm not going to say we'll do whatever you want, because we won't, but you can certainly come to us and we will see if we can help.
Gives a ride, translates. Persuasion check, please. See if he's convinced.
28.
Say something back to the monk, and the monk says, You say if they need help from you, they communicate how?
However they would normally communicate. They know what we look like. I'm sure they've got people that can send messages. Or I don't mind carrying something where they can send a message or potentially locate us, as long as they don't send an army after us.
Back, they kind of deliberate between them to each other, and they're going to go. Takes his sword and points it towards the bigger ship behind them. Turns around and goes, "This one was a little bit damaged and needs a bit of repair, but according to our friend here, would probably be of better suit to your needs." Damn, that 25 plus you just done, you bitch.
What one's he giving us? Sorry?
The one that was a size up, he says, "Yeah, just take that one that's been damaged, but you can fix
Fine.
it."
Yeah, perfect. Okay, thank you very, very much. And is there something you want me to take so you can communicate with us, or will it just be, should I listen out for a voice in my head that I don't recognise?
You can rummage around and throw you like a really weirdly shaped stone. Long says, when they practice a little more common, they will, air quotes, be in touch.
Perfect. Thank you very much, and safe journeys to wherever you end up. Hopefully we will meet again soon.
As the Githyanki you're speaking to kind of walks off, he says something under his breath, and the monk responds. And then kind of he just follows up beside you. He goes, "Shall you inspect the ship now, or do you want to leave it till later?"
I will leave it to later. Just clear everything off that you need, and I will send some people to commandeer the ship. Thank you again for your help.
And just his like hands behind the back, nods, and goes, "Anything to keep the peace."
Okay, and I will extend the same offer to you. You helped us get people out of there, you helped us get out of there, so if you have need of us, feel free to send a message or come find us.
And he gives you the same kind of like lower bow. He goes, "If you excuse me, I have many a wayward brother who needs to be consoled in what better direction to sail in." Well, then I think it's best that we take our leave, as and he points out to the increasing number of riders coming out and goes, "Before we cause any more ruckus than they already have."
I agree. Safe journeys,
You and your friends as well.
and
And he carries off back to his own ship.
I will walk off of the ship and go to the bigger one. And just send a message to Cloud and go, hey, I got us a boat.
You return saying, "Oh, well done, my dear. Don't let them leave just yet. Just on the safe side. I don't want anybody thinking anything wrong. Uh, and I've got something they need to send back."
So I will quickly send message to the Githzerai and go, really sorry, can you wait just a moment longer? One of the party has something they need to send back with you.
A gentle stroll just kind of slows, and he just kind of pivots on the spot and walks back.
And I'll send a message to Cloud and go, I would hurry up, they're a little bit uncomfortable with all the military presence.
And well, Cloud will blow the whistle of flying familiar, create a probably just a normal eagle. That'll probably be big enough, and he'll pull out the GIF longsword that was used by the GIF that killed Cloud, and hand it to the eagle to fly over to Elizabeth. and by the time it gets there, Cloud will telepathically tell Elsbeth, we owe Jehote this. If you can send it back with his people, that will be perfect. Thank you.
Will do, boss. She says that with a joke in her mental voice. And she will, when the Githzerai gets back, who I don't think I ever caught his name. Has he told us his name?
Never mention his name.
Okay. I will hand him the sword and go, Cloud has asked if you would send this with Jehote's men and return it to Jehote. Well, return it, give it to him. It's the thing he wants to send back.
Except kind of gives it a little kind of bows and then looks back over and says, "Anything else before we leave?"
I'm Elspeth, by the way. Whose voice should I be listening out for if you need us? Oh, so subtly.
Just kind of reaches out a hand and goes, "Juka."
Juka. Out
Yeah.
of character. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, hyphen in the middle, so it's like Juka.
Cool. Excuse Jason in the background. Perfect. Okay, well, once again, you are safe to leave now. I will play distraction if anyone tries to come, so go.
And courtesy nod, and then returns back to the ship he was on.
And I'm just gonna stay on the big ship. Meanwhile, our welcoming our heroes return.
On horseback, a group of about now numbering about 40 odd shields, and they're decked out for what would have been trouble. But they're now kind of looking, seeing all these prisoners being brought out, several shield members, and then seeing you guys, and they kind of go, "Okay, which one of you is going to explain what happened here?" As they're watching the gift ships just suddenly just take off and start buggering off.
Cloud pulls out the little pendant from Miranda, steps forward and says, hello there. Hi, how are you all? Don't mind them. They're not hostile. Then it's very complicated. But we can explain everything. But bright side, everybody who was pretty much everybody who was taken is to return, plus a few others.
I'll look at Ian, gonna go, "What the impressive feat? Sure, Miss Keller will be very pleased." And see all
Well,
the
we
prisoners make their way
try.
back. Goes, "We can have carriages. Make sure that anyone else needs who requires aid getting into the city, arrange to come over here."
Yes, that would definitely be very helpful if carriages could be brought. Some people have, some have been enslaved for a bit longer than others, and obviously not treated very well.
It's quite evident, but we'll make sure that they're taken care of as best as we can. In the meantime, we suggest you find lodging somewhere nearby, and if Miss Keller needs to get in contact, she will once the council's out of session.
Definitely. We'll be along shortly as well. No problem.
The shields all kind of form a kind of 10 on one side, 10 on the other, kind of standing guard, each guy being so many yards apart, so they can form a kind of makeshift kind of barrier for the returning folk coming to Westrunn. A couple go ahead to kind of get some carriages to come out and help anyone who's like, seriously exhausted or malnourished to kind of help on the carriages. Takes them a little while, but they get everyone back inside. And see.
Cloud gestures for the orcs and the two tiefling brothers to step to one side with the group, join him with the rest of the group.
Step up first, going. What's up for a ball?
Well, we got your brother back, so that's one up. But as a thank for sort of helping, so that whole tripping into a guard didn't quite help matters.
At which point you see us. I can't remember which one I picked. But whatever one didn't go is just buckled at the thought of you really fucked it that early on. He went, "Oh shut it, you dick! I done it to save you." And they kind of start just pulling each other's horns. Like, yeah, just brotherly banter. The two of them kind of like then turn from a wrestle into a over the shoulder hug.
It's good to see you've got each other. And Cloud will pull out a bag of gold and hand them 400 gold. Little extra pay. Little bonus for on top of your brother. Try not to get drink it all away.
And look at one of them and goes, "We can't promise anything, but we'll try." Kind of flip a couple of the coins up and
Trying's the best that you can do. At least buy me a drink then.
mind for ball. Now, if you don't mind, we've got to go and see where they've impounded our carriage. Or what do you mean? What do you mean impound it? You left it parked somewhere. Like, yeah, but how long have we been away? The problem we told it somewhere. And two of them kind of just turn back and start heading, kind of casually bickering amongst themselves as they head back towards the gates. The orcs head up and go, "What, boss?"
We greatly appreciate you guys helping us out. You definitely helped out quite a lot. If you want to come with me, if you just wait here a second, I just need to discuss something with the group, and I'll sort you out with something. And Cloud will step to the side with the rest of the group and say, I think the five of them did quite a bit to help us out. I was thinking about giving them some of the gold we had found.
I wish you'd have discussed it with me before you gave the tieflings 400 gold. 400 gold!
Don't worry, I've counted it all up quite well.
And you counting them 400 gold in?
Yes. They helped out as well.
I'm just saying. I killed a giant dragon. I mean, if anyone
That's
was
what
going to
you're
get
getting.
400 gold,
You're not getting a few hundred, you're getting thousands.
well, 400 less. Anyway, it's gone.
Are you alright, my friend?
Fine. You're not going to pay them 200 gold a piece, are you?
That's what I was going to ask the rest of the group. They did do a bit more than the rest.
Who else is here?
At this point, everyone else would have gathered round. So,
Not me. I'm still on the boat.
all right, yeah, you're still on your newly acquired ship.
Well, if that's the case, Cloud will sort of look at Copy, but telepathically say to Elsbeth, what do you think is a reasonable amount to share with the orcs?
I don't have an opinion. Whatever the rest of you agree, I'm fine with giving them whatever. Maybe 100, 150 each?
And copy.
Are you asking me or just saying?
Yeah, Cloud turns to you.
Oh, right. To be fair, I think. To be fair, I gave the druid and the monk 100 gold each, so maybe 100 each would be a fair number to give.
Cloud sort of grabs another bag and sort of flicks through it and takes a few coins out and turns back to the orcs and goes, "Here you go, my boys," and gives them 750 between them. I think you deserve this.
I'll put a set of gold here, was that?
Pardon?
Yeah, boss.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to take it. Is
At
what I
that
say
point, you
to
kind of
the
just
orc.
start kind of just taking handfuls of it and just kind of just let it fall back in the bag. Just go and take a handful, fall back in the bag. At that point, Clawber kind of goes, maybe now we get real instruments. You know, kind of look and go, but we like our own ones. We'll decide what we'll do with it later. They kind of gave Chloe a big heavy pat on the back, just like you can hear this from the other end of like the group, just like boom. We need like little bit of a soundtrack to your kick-ass adventures, Furball. Give us a shout, boss, any other time.
Definitely. You stay out of trouble. You hear?
They'll look a bit and then start putting out a couple of coordinates. We'll see how we get on. Orcs aren't very well liked in this your continent, but we'll do our best.
And Cloud will just gesture to all the people walking back to Westrunn. Well, I'm pretty sure all of those people are more of a fans of orcs now that you help them out.
Look back, and the people who are a bit tired kind of just kind of look back and kind of give them all like a half smirk, and they're like, "They're good. We do good. We do good." And Carter just kind of waves back at them as they're walking by, going, "Bye, nice meeting you all." And they all kind of gather themselves up and say, "Well, until next time, boys and girls, we'll be just carrying on our merry way." Gather up their things and start just heading down the road.
I'll turn to Cloud and Toto and say, I've got a few things I've got to do here. Do we know where we're gonna stay for the night?
Well, from the looks of it, Elizabeth has a ship. If it's in decent nick, we might as well crash there for the night, for a while at least, and then decide what we're doing afterwards.
Okay. Um, I may not. I probably will not take more than an hour or two. So I'll message Elizabeth. Sorry, I'll message Elspeth to find out where you guys are. Until then, I'll see you in a bit, and I'll walk towards the city.
Be careful, because people always die here. So be careful.
I'll
One thing I would
stop
like to point out to those who were present when the guard was mentioning about Miranda. He mentioned the council. Westrunn isn't run by a council. At least it wasn't run by a, or at least there wasn't one.
That sort of clicks to Cloud after a little bit, and it's like, huh, we haven't been gone that long, have we?
I don't think I'm smart enough to understand the politics of Westrunn, but I'll just look at Cloud and say, it doesn't. Nothing seems to have changed too much to me. Can't have been that long. It all looks the same.
What time of day is it? Is it like morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
We head back to the ship, see Elizabeth. The guards wish us to hang around. Weirdly, they said the council was in session or something, and Miranda would like to see us afterwards. I'm not exactly sure what this council is, but it must have happened in the last day or two. What do you think we should do?
Well, if she wants to talk to us, maybe it's something important. We should not upset her, so stay the night, see what she wants. Travel on tomorrow.
Do you think we should stay here on the ship or head in and get residence in town, maybe?
I think the ship would be okay, but I think popping into town and being closer wouldn't be so bad either. I'm full of not opinions today, so
Maybe we should head into town for just a little bit, find out what this council's all about, and see how things are progressing after everything. Then we can return to the ship as it starts getting dark.
sounds good to me. I do need to drop something off at the Cobalt Reserve, so
Can we camp? We haven't camped in ages. We used to camp all.
We can camp on the deck of the ship. How about that?
I will make sure to have tiny hut ready.
All right, that sounds banging.
To camp outside of the city limits of Westrunn.
I want to quickly pop to the Cobalt Reserve first. I can always dimension door there if it's less than 400 feet away.
Sure, a distance you could probably cover, but still a bit further out. And I'm right in saying Poppy wants to do something before the.
I want to do 2 or 3 things if possible. Basically, I want to visit the cleric, Ela Hardoon, and then I want to quickly visit Jafar as well.
It takes you a little bit of time wandering through. You can see there's been a bit of the remains of scuffles about in Westrunn since the last time you were here, and you're like, okay, I thought the place got tidied up after the Yankee attack, but it appears that there's been more recent acts of disturbance. You eventually make it way to Elia's shop. You're outside. What do you wish to do?
I'll I'll go in, and is she there?
Go in and there's someone behind the counter just kind of minding their own business.
I'll go up.
Turns around and says, "How can I help?" And of course it's Celia, and she turns around and recognizes you right away. Just like, "Oh, you."
Um,
No attitude, but kind of like blank, kind of just like, "Ah."
a quick out of character. If I remember, this was like an apothecary, so they had like ritual and like spell casting stuff there, like incenses, those kind.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, lovely to see you again. I was just wandering around, got a little lost. But I do need a few things from you, if I could.
Kind of hesitates for a moment, goes, "Like what?"
I need some. One sec, I actually have this written down somewhere. I need some charcoal, incense, herbs, and a brass brazier.
And looks around behind the counter and goes, "Yeah, I can get most of that right away. Just give me a moment." And she kind of gathers up a few things from behind the counter. And you hear a little bell going as the door opens again, and there's like heavy footsteps.
Is this the Goliath?
Well, I turn around and find out.
Yeah.
Turn round, and you're like head to chest with, of course, it's your boy, Ziggalalife. Slowly crank
You
your head down
know,
towards you to look at you.
I'm addressing his chest. I'm not looking at him like.
Right,
You
well, you
know,
turn
the
round, expecting someone at eye level, and you're at his chest height.
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue talking to his chest. I'm like, you know, after a point, people are just gonna wonder that you're stalking me.
You know, that's with a heavy growl. And just,
Yeah, I know. As someone who does that, it's kind of too obvious if you're gonna do that. Gotta be a bit more. But I'm here for business. I'm not here to cause any trouble. I'm just here to pick up a couple of things.
you turn around, and Ilya's got the little package with the brazier in the middle, just kind of like handed over as like, here.
Thank you. Um, I'll drop a bag of 100 gold and then just gonna walk out, not saying anything.
They're just like, then he gives out a quick, as if that was, kind of rude, and she kind of flicks her hair back, and the Goliath's kind of just giving her a look as if like, should I? And waves it off, going, nah, not worth it. You walk out and he goes, "Did you get me my thing?" She's like, "Yeah." And he's just carrying like a bag of just like assortment things. She's like, "Thank you." Just kind of hands it behind the counter and goes, "Your usual seat?" And he goes, "Yeah." Just sits in the corner of the shop, just as the door shuts behind you.
There's definitely something going on between them, but I won't ask. And then I'm gonna turn invisible and go towards Jafar's.
Bars. While you're heading towards him, we jump back to the Cobalt Reserve where Elspeth's approaching.
Before I leave, I'm gonna go. I need to go to the Colbert Reserve. Does anyone want to join me, or am I leaving you two here?
No, I can go for a walk.
Well, I can make that walk a little shorter, and I will grab his hand, and I'll dimension door us 400 feet towards the Cobalt Reserve, and we can walk the rest of the way.
Boom, 400 feet towards the place. It's about half a distance. Actually, it would be what I thought, but yeah, travel. The time you're walking, by the time copies on copy shenanigans part one, you guys will be kind of nearing the Cobalt Reserve.
Okay, I apologise. I probably should have warned you we were about to do that, but
That, yeah, warning next time. Whew, that was a call, but warning. Right. Okay.
She's just giggling.
As you're approaching the Cobalt Reserve, you see most of the damage has been fixed on it. Though there are clear signs of where the damage previously was and where the more repairs have been done. It's not been kind of like smoothed off and burnished to make it look like it's all the same structure again. You notice that the shields that are within proximity of the Cobalt Reserve have a slight change to the uniform. It's not much, but it's noticeable. They've got like a small like gold leafing effect over their cloaks going over one side.
Is that me? That, is that both of us that are noticing that?
Both of you as you're walking by.
I will go. Well, the guard's got a little fancier.
They bring out some new uniforms in the last couple of days. Cloud looking quite confused.
One of the guards recognizing the Perry from like previous from the steps of the Cobalt Reserve beforehand went, wait a minute. Yeah, I recognize those two. And he kind of steps out, well, not out of like formation, but kind of steps out and goes, did you say a couple of days?
Yes, and Cloud looks at Ellsworth. What, 2-3 days? Maybe 4?
For us,
Okay, he
please.
still shoots and they kind of talk amongst themselves and goes, oh, the last time you guys were spotted in this city was about 2 months ago.
Cloud just sort of looks at Ellsworth again like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna shrug. I don't know what's going on.
What do you mean 2 months? We've literally been gone like 4 days at the most.
Oh, we can assure you, you've been on Councilwoman Miranda's watch list for the better part of a month, especially after your disappearing that with that ship. And kind of any points about to random bits the revolution happened, and then we've just managed to settle things down, and you guys show up.
What revolution?
Oh, yeah, you've not been right. He kind of sets his shield down and kind of leans on and goes, so what happened with it? You know that the previous Mar gave us a bit of a shithead. Kept things tight, wanted to do the whole greater glory of Westrunn's previous years. In the past 10 years, not exactly the most pleasant, but things ran smooth enough that no one could argue much. There was a bit of a academics riot about a couple of years back, but it kind of got like swept under the rug. Not too many got a bloody nose for it, but things were fine. That was until the kidnappings, the Get Yankee attack, and a couple of other things that happened after you guys left. Some people kind of went, fuck this shit, and kicked the guy out of his office. He didn't exactly go willingly, but it was about time for a change in management, and given that most of Tal'Dorei has kind of adopted the more kind of council-oriented system rather than Margraves, that's the kind of long and short of it. We've now got a council as opposed to just one dickhead sitting in an office telling everyone what to do.
Now you have multiple shitheads sitting in an office telling people what to do.
Yeah, no, I'm going, at least they divvy up the bullshit evenly.
True.
For now, at least.
And this part about us being on Miranda's watch list, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
They both kind of just like tug at their like collars a little bit, going, "Yeah, well, getting fond of you guys, and then you fucked off with that ship." I wouldn't say she's gonna like have you like put on pikes the second she sees you, but if you're within arm's reach, don't be too surprised if you get a slap on the face. I mean, you did kind of just abruptly fuck off.
Yeah, circumstances. These things happen. But we came back with gifts.
And you look at one and go, "Well, gifts are good. Yeah. Remember, gifts good. Just open with that, and we'll show you if you're fine, guys." Then they kind of go back to the kind of stance at the side of the Cobalt Reserve, going,
Do you know what time the council usually break up or get off or so and so?
Third guy at the back overhears this and goes, "For the first question, in about 30 minutes." And he looks at this fancy little contraption he's got on his wrist next to his armor. "Second one, you'll have to ask Salvador to what they all get off to." A couple of these guys getting next to him going to go, "Hey, very funny." You can hear like kind of like a faint chuckle going about the guards nearby. Even one of the Cobalt Reserve monks kind of just sniggers behind his book.
Okie dokie, got half an hour or so. Shall we be on our way then, my dear?
Yes, let's get this done just in case we get banished from the city after this. I'm going to walk into the Cobalt Reserve and find the head cleric, priest, priestess, bishop, whatever it is.
Title of person in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Fell that to the side for looking for later. A couple of more lower ranking members come up and see you, and then a couple recognise you from what, "Oh, you helped it before. What can we do to help you?" Move the person in charge. They go and get them. A couple minutes later, they appear.
Or they could lead us to them. Either or. I'm going to go into my bag and take out Viscous horn that I picked up. And I am going to hand it to him and go, "I could not bring him all home, but I brought what I could. I am hoping that he would want to be here. So I'm hoping this is enough to have him be here." And she'll also take off her holy symbol from around her neck and go, "And that is also his as well, technically."
The horn and kind of goes, "Well, I know we're grateful for your service. Appreciate the fact that you brought one of our brothers back in however many pieces you could. Remember your you and your friends' deeds on those steps out there and beyond these walls. So the Cobalt Reserves owes you at least a debt of some description. And we heard that you're the ones who returned the books to us."
Did we return the books? Out of character, did we return the books?
No, Cloud still got
Oh,
a
you
pile
still
of
had them.
books.
Past it. I think you had done them.
I've got a little checklist. That one of the things is check the books.
So I'm going to go, obviously I am returning what was his holy symbol. I have been able to be using it recently, and I'd like to not lose that ability. I don't know if there's another holy symbol, something I could use instead. Without losing an eye, please.
At that point, you kind of almost like, he looks like he's got a little bone and he says, "Oh," and he pulls out a little spoon, just like, "We could have sorted that in a heartbeat." Looks back at you going, "That was a joke. I'm not in the business of." I don't know why this book reader had the eye of all things, but it's. Anyway, as I was saying, we can.
I also don't want
An
a
alternative.
tattoo on my forehead. I've heard that's a thing as well. Because I think Scanlan's is on his forehead, if I remember correctly, out of character.
Well, and he shows you a little symbol that's like a little mouthless face with three eyes. As well, that is the symbol of the knowing mistress. Is there any preferred method you would prefer?
Is it an item, or is something they're wanting to like draw on me?
They're giving you the option. We can have it inscribed on you somewhere, or we can have it as a physical symbol.
Do you know what? I think having it put on me would be appropriate. Maybe on somewhere on my back so she can watch my back for me. Although I've never had a tattoo, I'm pretty sure this is about to be painful. I'm gonna look to Cloud and go, fancy holding my hand.
Of course, my dear.
A buff-looking bookworm comes down with like a stack of dictionary, just slams it down and goes, "Yeah, take a seat, love. I'll be over you in a sec."
Fuck.
Pulls out this what looks like a fancy quill and some big mints and goes, just take a seat here and just if your friend wants to sit next to you, that'll be fine.
Awesome.
And
remove.
make me a constitution check.
What I'm going to do is change the clothes of the change bringer to still cover my front. Not change bringer, what am I talking about? Clothes of the changing to bear my back. And I'm making you a constitution check.
Oh.
At least you don't have to worry about me breaking your fingers, Cloud's fingers, because she's not that strong.
True.
I can imagine giving a barbarian just like. You're fine. 19.
As long as you didn't drink the Frost Giant's potion I've got.
I did not. Although, however, what Cloud will notice if he looks at her back at all, is he likely to look at her back?
Possibly.
So there is now a very big scar running from the left side of her waist right up her back to her right hand shoulder, where the dragon got her. The divine healing magic did not heal the scar.
Cloud won't say anything yet.
But yeah, so she's just gonna sit there and get a tattoo for a holy symbol.
Oh, the symbol of the knowing mistress. Your back, shoulders, and below the neck.
Perfect.
After a brief moment, there's a very faint glow from it, and he says, "And done."
Lovely, thank you very much. Now she'll always have my back.
I see what you did there.
Thank you very much. And by the way, is the leader of the pack still there?
He's nearby.
I'm gonna go. By the way, I believe there is a teleportation circle in here. I've gained the ability to use it, so if we randomly appear, I apologise.
Well, as long as you don't do it during unsociable hours, we have very little issue, and try not to make too much noise.
We shall try. Thank you very much. And that is what she wanted to do.
So, as you guys are making your way back,
I'll just go to Cloud before we leave. Do you want the quick way, or shall we meander?
I'd prefer to meander. And Cloud will, as they're leaving, tell one of the guards if possible they can pass on the message to Miranda if she's free tomorrow. That's basically just tell her where we are, just outside the city, and we apologize greatly for any miscommunication, and smile and walk away.
as they say it so that it's loud enough for you guys to hear, and obviously not keeping together going. Place your bets, boys. How big of a shafting are they going to get for this one? They go like, I put 10 gold pieces. They're going to get weaken the slaves. And they just start shouting stuff amongst themselves. various other bits of I bet 15 gold to get a boot up theirs, blah 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 blah. Except they're not that kind of nonsense. Back to copy. As you're stealthing your way through the streets, finding your way to
Yeah.
Jafar.
Can I see him?
Well, you go back to where his usual plot is, and he's not there.
Damn. I'll have a look around because you said when I was with the cleric there was some disturbance and kind of it looked like recent disturbances. Is that a consistent thing that I saw on my trip to find Jafar?
Yeah. Signs of some sort of big turnover, so
Nah. Um, is there kind of like a blacksmith I can find maybe nearby?
yeah, there's a blacksmith nearby.
So
Again, not breaking the mold here, but a dwarf just hammering at an anvil, just no shirt on, just like look at me, I'm big, buff as fuck, doing manly shit.
okay,
Yeah, what can I help you with?
I'll drop invisibility before I approach him, saying, "Oh, there was a chap here. I think his name was Jafar. Do you know where he went?"
Oh yeah, the fire genasi. Fire man. Right. Nah, my memory's a bit hazy. He goes back to hitting the bit of metal.
Damn. I was wondering if you can help me. I need a few things myself. Um, maybe a shield, a tinker set, and maybe some materials as well, some raw materials.
What kind of shield do you after?
Um, s- mm, a shield that can cover me top to bottom if I put it on the ground. So maybe like a tower shield.
I think I've got something in the back that might suit you. Puts the bit he's working on down and goes out and pulls a. Again, it's bigger than him because it's obviously he's a dwarf, but he pulls it down, measures it up roughly. Yeah, that'll do it. Slops his shield.
Uh, and a tinker's set and some other smithing set as well.
Yeah, I think gets the various tools for a tinkering set, puts it all in a little box, puts the box down, gets a smithing set.
Um, the if at a quick glance, do I can I see if he's got any like gunpowder or anything like that, or any kind of explosive powder? Scott?
Nothing of the sort.
Okay. Then I'll say and some scrap metal.
Goes in a nearby bin, just pulls out a handful of this random bits of metal, just points at the table.
How much for everything?
Oh, it's 50 gold for the lot.
Oh, that's very reasonable. Thank you.
I was getting rid of this shit anyway. Just taps it all off and goes back to hammering what he's working on.
Oh, and just a quick thing. What happened here?
What now?
What happened here? Why is there such a big kind of ruckus around?
They had your head in the dirt for too long last saw you've been fuck knows where for the last 2 months.
Sorry, I'm just new to the town.
We had kidnappings, Githyanki attack, some other bullshit happened, revolution, and now some other bullshit's happening. Take your pick.
Revolution? Tell me about that.
A fucking tour guide, honey. I've got shit to work on here. Can you?
All right, all right. Calm down.
I know I'm supposed to be a salesman here, but I'm behind on orders here, and I've got short-staffed after shit happened.
Okay. Um, Thank you. Um, have a good day. I think that's what people say. Have a okay. And I'll just awkwardly walk.
Oh, anything else?
No, I'm gonna go back to the ship. I'll message Elspeth and then I'll go back to the ship.
Yeah, I'll just respond with we are camping on the ship under the stars.
Yeah, and then I'll head back.
By this time, I will probably have cast Tiny Hut.
Once you get back, you cast in your hut. Shortly after, copy follows. There's now just a little glowing hut sitting on top of this Githyanki ship, just on the outskirts of Westrunn.
Cool. I'm gonna acknowledge that, but I'm gonna kind of go to a small quarters downstairs.
Um, just back a bit. On the Clouds and Elizabeth way back to the ship. Cloud would like take a bit of a detour as such and walk past. I cannot remember the name of the pub, but the tavern where the Thieves Guild works out. It's just on a walk past to see if that's still functioning.
At the moment, it's boarded up.
Cloud will just take a note of that, and as he's walking through the rest of the city, just keep an eye out for any signs or symbols of the Thieves' Cant, saying anything or such of any interest.
You spot the ones that are saying that the clasp is still operating. However, they are putting signs of like, okay, keep your heads down because management new deals need to be struck.
Yeah, but do I notice any increase in myriad signs?
Anything, the handful that were here from the last time of like the kind of small encroacher myriad things have been completely wiped clean.
We head back to the ship and so on, and fast forward again.
Night time. It's a star-filled sky in Taldori tonight.
Elspeth will lay and stare at the stars, other than her 4 hours of meditation.
Before she casts the tiny hut, given that actually I've never seen her cast tiny hut. Shit, I wouldn't.
You have not.
I was gonna message her basically, asking her to come downstairs and to my room briefly. But I wanted to do it before she casts tiny hut, but that's a bit metagaming. So I'll do it. I'll do it whenever I can after I get in.
I will
Get to the
message
ship.
back and go, unfortunately, I cannot leave my little dome, or else it goes away, but you're more than welcome to pop up here. Or we can communicate this way.
No, I needed your help face to face, but that's fine. We can do it another time.
Remind me and I will do it. First second we get. She's gonna make sure Toto and Cloud are tucked in as well. While she's awake and no one else is.
Around midnight, when it's like really dark, Copy's gonna come upstairs and kind of find a corner of the deck to kind of sleep in. So she can see the hut but it's a bit obscure for them to see her basically.
I have
And
dark
proceed
vision
her.
and can see out of the hut. Can I? Because she can't see inside. Can I see her going to a corner of the deck?
Clear as day.
Sorry, pardon?
As clear as day.
Okay. I'm going to send her a message and go, you are more than welcome inside. It is more comfortable, more warm. The boys are fast asleep.
Um. Oh. I. Oh, you can see me. No, 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 no. I'm just enjoying the stars. Just, yeah. Okay.
You can see them from in here, and it is safer in here than sleeping out on in the open in a boat.
Uh.
Do I need to make a fucking persuasion check at this point?
She doesn't want to do it.
Okay.
Uh.
Of course, you
So,
do not have to if you don't want to, but it seems silly
yeah.
to sleep outside.
I'll wait. I'll stay here. Uh. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Do anything, Toto? You do anything while you're.
Literally the only thing Toto would have wanted to do the whole time everyone was gone doing stuff in the city and whatever, is just find some grass and just like take all of his clothes off and lie in the grass.
Oh my god.
The exception of his platform Crocs.
Oh no, the Crocs are coming off. He's going natural in the grass. He's missed grass. Just for a little bit, and then he'll be back on the boat by the time everyone gets back, like nothing happened. And then just chill, go to sleep.
Apart from when Azir walks out on deck and looks down and sees you.
Or Macca.
Feast your eyes on the tiny man in the grass.
Which part of you is the tiny man?
It's all scaled, proportionate. And attuned to the braces.
Racers. Anyone else who had any of the items to put on? We've attuned by now.
Is Circlet of the Mockingbird attunement, or is it just a magical item that you wear?
I believe it should be same as the hand cone.
I'll look it up.
Just an item. So I'd assume it wouldn't need an attunement.
Cool beans. And it's +1 to spell DC, right?
One to spell DC and
Two
plus
to
to
vocal
it performance checks involving vocals.
Awesome. Finally, people might actually not beat all my spell DC. You boys, all of you should be worried.
Should we? Why, you done turn against us?
Yes, definitely.
Well, we'll see how well that works.
I've got a +13 to hit on my bow now.
You telling me she couldn't persuade any of you to join her if she went dark?
Yeah, true. I'd be in so quick.
It's kind of weird that what Toto said is true. Like the entire party is depending on Elspeth's line,
No, it doesn't. Don't say that.
except maybe Aze. Aze, I think Aze. Aze.
I don't even think
he's
he
the
knows
only
how to
one.
pronounce it either.
He's probably the only one that may have an issue, but he can be bought quite easily.
Or killed. Simple enough.
This is scary. Don't. No, just no. Anyway, let's carry on with staring at the stars.
You're the bard. It's your job. You inspire. You inspire us to be evil, we be evil.
We're just giving Scott ideas at this point.
All I've got right now after that last line is Voltaire playing in the back of my head.
Maybe next campaign. I can be secret. I can be the Travis of the group.
Maybe we can have like a spin-off game where all our characters are the evil versions.
So that's like
Yeah.
normal
You-
version of copy.
I
Then.
had one of my real life players actually almost beg me to do that at one point, and I think pretty much it got vetoed by our resident actual good cleric going, "Fuck that shit, no way."
Did I?
I think me and Joe were talking about it out loud at the table one day, and you just went, "Fuck that, I ain't doing evil Sasa."
Well, I've obviously changed my opinion now because hell, she could go evil. Maybe when / if we reboot, we can go down the evil route and see how she'd do.
Yeah, I think the reboot's been kind of pushed back a little bit further forward, for the back because of newbies.
Mhm. Anyway, let's carry on.
Under the moonlit, star-filled sky of Alexandria outside the Westrunn right now, there will be just chilling under the stars. You guys have been with for 2 months and there's been all sorts of stuff happening. You killed dragons, you killed again other Geth guys, you blew stuff up, you bumped into like creepy spider dudes and seen some weird shit in the astral sea. A lot to take in.
That happened in about 4 days.
For us.
Cloud will probably get up a bit earlier before. Obviously, Elizabeth will be up, but before everybody else gets up, and he'll probably just go down into the. Well, actually, no, he'll probably go off into like some nearby woods a little ways, just out the way of everybody, and summon the blade staff back. Sort of see what it's like at the minute.
So, as you summon it out, the little bud at the bottom of it seems to be almost ready to just kind of like bloom. Every tree nearby just starts to kind of twitch back and forth. Eventually, this thing just kind of just sprouts out like a almost like Japanese floral tea style, just kind of just plums open, and it's just this weird looking flower at the bottom of it. Not really one what you'd expect you've ever encountered in nature before. This thing just looks weird and nonsensical. Just it's got a little bit of tendrils coming out of it. It's got leaves. It's got little bits of fluff. You just see just coming off it, like kind of like a dandelion. Just like, fuck is this thing? Is pretty much the only thing going through your mind.
Just spend a bit of time looking at it and doing like you say, just what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Mm.
That.
Scott, are you trying to say something? Because it's completely quiet.
I was thinking for a moment. Out loud. If Cloud can make me a perception check, please.
What the fuck with natural ones?
You're just so marveling at this thing. You actually put the blade staff on the ground, just like, this is some really fucked up shit. Did Total spike me at some point? Because this is like, and you're just messing about with the dandelion portions that are just kind of floating around.
Just sort of like, whoa, and just like sort of touching it and seeing what it does. And just sort of tripping out a bit, looking at.
As you're just tripping out looking at this thing, you just hear a very faintly a and you just feel a very sharp pain in your back as you just get scalped with an arrow.
Motherfucker.
Don't split the party.
Points on top of that as you turn round and you just see shadows moving around in the forest.
In the forest?
And he wandered off into this, like a woodland area. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, right, that'll do. Just
I thought he went like below deck or something.
I was thinking about that, but now I went off into the woods.
Like a moron.
wander off into the winds today. Now for a little surprise.
The worst thing is
Okey-dokey.
Elspeth was literally going to say as he walked away, if you need a scream, but she didn't.
Do I now I know that someone's there? Do I notice how many are there, or
You look around and you see 4 of them. They're all covered up. But you can just see through their coverings that they've got deep red skin and are just a little bit shorter than you are. Vaguely goblinoid in shape, and you recognize, okay, these are hobgoblins. What the fuck are
these
the
are
hobgoblins doing out here?
motherfucker? These are the same bastards from before with the bloody manticores.
As you see them kind of like readying their bows for another strike, you hear again from the nearby distance like this really loud booming noise, similar to the contraption that Copy has, only a lot louder. One turns round and a half second later, his head just explodes over a nearby tree. The guys next to him, ready to turn their bows back their way, and immediately get felled with 2 arrows. And as their bodies hit the ground, you see trees growing out of their torsos. Go to about like 6 foot high. And as the last guy goes to run, you just hear a voice goes, "My dear fellow, if you could catch him alive, that'd be much appreciated."
No problem.
I don't know where that voice came from, but it's from somewhere nearby.
Cloud will feline agility catch up with a dude and take his attacks at him, non-lethal, just like hit him with a blunt end. Well, the flowery crystal end now.
Power, power, motherfucker! Pow! See if you can hit him. Roll an attack. Oh, you hit him all right. He's trying to run away, and you managed to catch up with him. With feeling agility alone, the momentum would have took him off his feet. But with that blade staff, you just like whack, and you can hear the crack echoing out through the trees as he just face plants into the dirt. Yeah, ha. A couple seconds later, you hear like do 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 something like running towards you. Turn around, and there's this big bear with like plate armor attached. It's like, and you just hear, "No trinket, no," and this big bear just knocks you over your side, but it's still on top of the hobgoblin. No, no, darling, he's okay. He help. He's a good boy. And after a few seconds, you just get this bear just like go from like vicious attack mode to like teddy bear. Just goes, oh, just gives you a big look in the face. Yeah, the other one, he's a dickhead. You can just take him if you want. And just grabs the hobgoblin by the scruff of his collar and just kind of drags him back towards the source of the voices, which of course is a human gentleman with white hair, optical things on his face, carrying a rifle, blue jacket with gold trim. Next to him, lady, black hair, blue feather in the hair, bow out with kind of more like natural growing elements to it, and white dragon hide armor. It's, oh, sorry. Thanks very much for helping catch our quarry. We just happened to be, traveling by on the roads and happened to spot these little gits, and she then goes and gives like a swift kick to one of the ones that's got a tree growing out of it now.
Yeah, Cloud sort of reaches around, pulls out the arrow that they shot him in the back, and says, "Yeah, no problem, fucking assholes."
At which point the gentleman with the rifle shoulders his weapon and goes, "Yeah, they've been becoming quite a bit of a nuisance in the nearby area, and we thought on our way travelling from Whitestone, we'd maybe take a more scenic route, and it seems like we stumbled across a couple of these little bastards. And sorry, where are my manners? What's your name, McGiffel?" He puts his hand out.
Nice to meet you, Percival. My name is Cloud. I think you know my brother Loxus.
Takes a moment and goes, "I believe we've met before, but it's probably been sorry, it's just been hellish the last few days." At which point you just see his lady companion obviously saying, "Going, he's getting quite old. His years, he's a bit," and she starts doing the whole clockwork thing with her finger. Too much messing around with mechanisms and stuff like that. You know how it can be, and he kind of gives off kind of side eye. Goes like, "You're showing a couple of wrinkles in your old age," and she immediately just like, "Cheeky bastard," and just slaps him in the back of the head. Mummy's not getting old, is she, Trinket? And turns around to Trinket, just like, shrugs. At that point, Lady Vixally will kind of storm off and goes, "Okay, if you need me, I'll be in Westrunn meeting up with the council." And she just flaps her coat back and just walks forward.
Lively one you got there.
With a cheeky smile on Percival's face, goes, "I know." Are you just wandering around the forest, or what's your
Cloud
story, my
sort of
friend?
gestures away through, just barely seen through the trees where the ship is. And no, we've just returned from helping out the captives of the GIF attack. Looks like our 4-day trip turned out to be a 2-month period. I can't quite work that out, but that's what I've been told. So we're over there.
Probably goes, "The wonders of wandering the plains." Nothing, even with these, and he kind of gestures to, again, the funny little contraption you've seen a couple of people wear. He's got one of his wrists with, except it's got like a platinum face to it. Because, fuck it, you're a lord, why not? Anyway, before my lady finds someone the poor bugger to put an arrow in the back of, if you wish to accompany us, I don't see why not.
Uh, I best
As of
return
course you
to
do
my
have
group.
business in Westrunn and not just hang about just talking to trees.
Well, I've got to return to my group, and then we are to go see Lady Miranda Killard about some matters we need to clean up.
Oh, I see. Well, if you wish to attend to your friends, and then we'll probably see each other on the road there. Till then, and kind of just gives you a kind of off of it. Come there,
You too.
Trinket. Let's catch up with Mother before she gets more pissed at us both. Just kind of this big bear just kind of clunk with its armor and hide while still dragging the hobgoblin. It's like, yeah, make sure he doesn't get away. You just hear groaning from it, just dragging the hobgoblin along with him.
Well, Cloud was sort of like, huh, that was interesting. Alma back, and he'll head back to the group.
Oh, you go back towards the ship.
When he arrives back at the ship, can I tell he's injured?
How bad was the damage? In bigger picture.
73 to 53.
I would say you can kind of see that he's got a little chip on his shoulder. Just that kind of arm reached over, like, ow. Pulled the thing out.
Really irritating because it's that spot that you just can't
Yeah.
quite reach. It's like, fucking no.
I need a. The irony is a stick sticking out your back, and you can need a stick to reach it, kind of thing. Just like,
So he's walking up with an arrow sticking out of his back.
try to reach for it, you just can't quite reach it. Just like,
Oh, for goodness sake, you can't even leave for 2 seconds without getting in trouble. I'm going to put. Let me get
Can
it for you.
Can I ask two quick questions? Um, One, how far can bad news's sound be heard?
quite far, but you're below deck.
Damn.
Last I checked, so you'd be like snoozing down below.
Okay, no worries.
So I'm going to go here. Let me get that for you, and I'm going to pull it out. And as I pull it out, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level 3. Yeah, my great healing there. 13 points of healing. Do I want to ask? Toto, are you shooting arrows at Cloud?
You'd think so, but no.
No, it's those bloody hobgoblins we ran into a while back. They were roaming around the woods for some stupid reason, but I could have easily dealt with them, but someone got there just before me.
Yes, definitely by the looks of the arrow in the back of your shoulder, you definitely could have taken them.
Of course I could, it's me.
Just go pat you on the shoulder and giggle and walk away.
If you didn't kill them all, who did?
Lady and Lord Derolo. They're heading to Westrunn for business or something, and chose to take a scenic route and curve around the city for some reason. But obviously hunting these bastards.
Rich people. Rich people, man. Hey, I guess that's us now. That's cool. Anyway, isn't that where we're supposed to be going?
Yes, we need to go see Lady Miranda and get things squared away.
All right, let's get our names in the history books, boy.
Can I refrain from getting my name in the history book?
You could go under a fake name.
I think I'd just rather not be included at all.
That's fine.
You can take my share of the fame and the glory.
Oh, don't worry, I will.
The party leave their ship for the moment. They can see a couple of mounted shields come up and kind of set perimeter around the ship. Goes orders by the Lady Miranda Killer to make sure that the ship does not leave, and you guys don't bugger off on appointment again. Unannounced. Sorry, that is. Other than that, she's waiting for you at her home in the Opal Ward.
I didn't realise we needed to let anyone know whenever we decided to leave.
The guards look at one and goes, well, between us, you guys have well, she's making a special exception for you guys. After last time and what happened afterwards.
Yes, let's go and sort this little confusion up. And, is everybody coming or is it just us?
Who's just us? Who's everybody?
I'll assume that next time we'll have full table. Everyone present, I'm assuming, is going to leave the ship and carry on to Miranda's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys head back towards, once again, hopefully for what will be the last time for a while once this is all kind of book shut. We'll call it for tonight and say that's another fine episode of Tal'Dorei Delta Mondays.
Yes, I shall turn off the stream. Give me just a moment.